stream.
You need a proper thumbnail for this?
I should have done that. But I stream starting.
Cool. Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, where's the chat? Chat and all that stuff. I'm already live? What it is. What's up, y'all? What y'all doing this fine Friday night? You know what I'm saying? I'm about to do some extra massages. Dude, I knew I forgot to react to a video. I forgot to react to CJ the Champ's new video. I'm gonna do that like after I get off the stream. Bruh, what's up, y'all? How is y'all doing? You know what I mean? Y'all wanna hear the voice I use whenever I talk to females? Bro, it's literally a difference, I swear to God. Bro, so whenever I'm talking to y'all, I talk to y'all like this. Hey, what's up? How y'all doing, baby? Blah, 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 blah. But bro, when I talk to females, I be like, yo, what up? How y'all doing? Yo, what's up? Yeah, that's what's up. Bro, I've literally noticed a difference. It is terrifying. I went to the club one night and to practice to see what was the difference between me using my different voices. If I talked to a female in my high-pitched voice, like I'm like, yo, what's up? How you? Hey, yo, yeah, man, it's good meeting you. You hella cool, like, blah, blah, blah. If I talk to them like that, females start telling me they have a boyfriend. I swear to God. But if I talk to a female like this, I don't even say words. I'm just like, hey, yo, what's up? Hey, how you doing? Yo, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Yo, yeah, I feel you. That's what's up. If I talk to a female like that, she's down to fuck immediately. I swear to God, I tested that on this one Mexican chick, and she went from telling me she had a boyfriend to then telling me but when I switched to the voice where I was like, yo, yeah, like it told me she had a boyfriend because I started talking in this voice. And when she told me she had a boyfriend, I switched my voice. I was like, yo, that's what's up. Yo, so how long you guys been together? Yo, you got a boyfriend. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Bro, I shit you not. She went from telling me she had a boyfriend to telling me that I had a really pretty, I had a really attractive smile. And that we should leave. Like she immediately she was down to fuck. It's hilarious. It's like talking using vibe instead of your voice. So like when you dudes are out there talking to females, I want y'all to talk in a way that would be the vibe that you're trying to set up, right? So if you a dude and you trying to, you know what I mean, get baby girl to take off her undergarments, then you talk to her with this vibe, the vibe of, yo, that's what's up. Yo, you should take that off. Like, talk to her in that vibe. But, talking in this type of way, it just makes females kind of just want to be your friend. And that's it. But if you talk to them in this way, that's cool. But when you get in them in private, yeah, fuck that nigga up. Bro, we watching some fights. All right, y'all. We about to watch some nukes. You know what I mean? Oh my God, King of Guagua. How's your day been, Blast? Love your content. And it's great to watch your stream vids after a long day. Bro, I appreciate you, yo. Dude, that's fire. Marcelo Liro, been watching you since 6th grade back in 2015. My nigga. You know what I'm saying? So look, just because you a nerdy dude like me, don't mean you can't still make a female take her clothes off. It just take a little bit of practice. You know what I'm saying? So go out there, bro. I want you dudes to experiment with this. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? When you talk to a girl, when you talk to a girl and you're trying to get her to take her clothes off, you don't have to say anything. The only thing that matters is your tone of voice and not talking too fast. So just be like, yeah, that's cool. Yo, like, where you from? That's where you from? Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, that's cool. You got a boyfriend. That's cool. Bro, real shit. Thanks, man. Appreciate the advice. No problem, Arnold Boating. I appreciate y'all, bro. I swear y'all my family, man. I love coming through, chilling with y'all and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can share with y'all the knowledge that I would be telling my kids. This is stuff I would be teaching my son. You know what I mean? Like, bro, don't spend too much time talking fast around Don't talk fast around females unless you don't want them to take off their drawers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? But it's funny because, like, talking with this tone of voice, I've noticed that females will start, like, trying to get me to smash even if their husbands or boyfriends are around. Like, real shit. Their husband will be right there and the female will pull me to the side and be like, yo, I'm trying to smash. Where are you from? I had this happen to me at DreamCon about 3 days ago. Her husband was right there. And he was a content creator, so he got swept up by a crowd of viewers. And while he was swept up with that crowd of viewers, she pulls me aside. She's like, yo, where you from? I'm trying to hang out. Like, yes. You know what I mean? Pretty much just let's fuck. Like, you know what I mean? No strings attached. You know my husband, let's fuck. So be careful, guys. Bro, have you guys ever seen that shit, Love Potion #9? It's like that. I want y'all to view it like that. So if you would do and you practice, but this takes practice. It takes practice to slow your tone of voice and to really talk in your Barry White voice or whatever at all times around females. You know what I mean? It takes time. So make sure to practice that. You know what I'm saying? But this is pretty much Love Potion #9. It makes it so that you don't have to have game with women. If you tell a female, like, look, this is the difference. If I tell a female to, like, if I'm talking real fast and I tell a female to take her clothes off, if I'm like, yo, take out your bra real quick. Like, take off your bra, take off your pants. She ain't gonna do that shit. But if I'm like, yo, hey, take off your pants. Bro, swear to God, it's like a 10 times higher chance that she'll do it. Like, real shit. That's literally the difference. You don't have to have game. You just talk in your Barry White voice and tell a female to take her clothes off when y'all are alone. It works. It works like 8 out of 10 times. Bro, real shit. Thanks for the tip. I'm going to try that on my mom. No, Zamplers Gaming. No. Oh, God, please, nigga, don't. What if it accidentally works on the male? I have been hit on by dudes, but dudes can't get anything. You know what I mean? All right, yo. So we about to watch some nukes. Some nukes, top 5. Oh, thank you for the donation, EJ, the greatest. You know what I mean? Bro, it's funny, dude, because I get hella excited whenever I stream and talk to you guys. So it's hard for me to, like, practice my tone of voice and shit. It's hard for me to do that when I'm with you guys, you know what I'm saying? But if you see me out in public, bro, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I'll be chilling. All right, y'all, so we about to watch some ghost videos. Let's do this. Oh, shit. There's no face cam?
Top 5 ghosts caught on camera. Caught on CCTV.
My bad, y'all.
Facebook
I
user
forgot to
Carly
start the videos.
Trichler shared
Hey,
a very
thank you,
bizarre
Curse
video
Wolf
that was recorded by her
Gaming. Thank you,
CCTV
Curse Wolf
camera
Gaming,
outside her
for,
home in
purchasing
Cannonsburg,
the
Pennsylvania.
membership. My
In the
nigga.
video, a deer
What's
can
up,
be
Curse Wolf
seen
Gaming? I can see
walking
you
through
now made
her
1100
yard.
This week.
But that's not all.
Damn. Curse Wolf Gaming, what you do for a living, nigga? Nigga, I need your type of money, nigga. 1100 in a week?
Bizarrely,
What's
a
up,
tiny
King of
dark
Guac
little
Guac?
figure seems to be
I appreciate
following the
you.
deer in the dark
Welcome
of
to
night.
the BHD Army, my nigga.
Now, I have no idea what this little thing could be.
It could be a midget.
Even after brightening the footage, it doesn't appear to be any kind of pet or wild animal.
I think it's trying to eat
And
that
whatever
deer.
it is, it almost looks
Warehouse
like it's
packing car
walking
parts.
on
Bro,
two legs.
bro,
And
that's
now
what's
the
up,
mysterious
Curse Wolf Gaming.
footage remains
They pay well.
unsolved. But
You know
I'm
what I'm
very
saying? I
curious
need
to hear
that job.
what you guys think this
BHD,
little thing
give up the butt
could
cheeks.
be.
Rizwan,
A Noob's Top 5 viewer who wishes to remain
what you look
anonymous,
like? Is you a
let's
female?
just call him or her Alex for
You
the sake of the
attractive?
video,
Like, and what do you
emailed
mean by
me
give
about a
up the butt cheeks?
CCTV
You don't mean-
recording
is that face
captured at
on
an
love?
undisclosed sleep
Better not
lab
mean
during
real
a
butt
sleep
cheeks,
apnea
'cause
test.
I mean, like if you're a dude,
Alex says
I
that a
can't give that.
coworker was
I
monitoring a
need my
widowed female
cheeks, man.
patient's sleep.
Pushed overtime
And then
and made
this
$500 in 20 hours. That's what I'm talking about, Curse Wolf. Yeah, I mean, big up to Curse Wolf, bro. That's, dude, get money. Yeah, I mean, it's hard work, but it's worth it. That's what I'm talking about. See, I love that. You know what I mean? Hard work is worth stuff.
Yes.
Where you live so I can come steal it. BHD,
Now, to
I
get a
love
better
you, bro.
understanding of what
Greatest
is going on,
YouTube
a bit
all
of
time, man.
explanation
Watch this
is
2014.
necessary.
I appreciate you,
So the
Trevon,
squiggly lines that can be
Christian,
seen at the
Black
bottom of the
was scared
screen
ghost. I
indicate
am
that the
Brehan
woman has stopped
Sutan.
breathing during her sleep. The mysterious pale figure then appears to reach out to wake the woman, after which she begins to breathe again.
Oh hell no, we're gonna want some nigga. That was hella, that was too scary. Let's fucking that up. Yes, sir. Make that
Top
money.
5 ghosts
Real honor. See, I
caught
don't know.
on camera.
Saving for a Hellcat.
The Lighthouse
Hellcat.
Keeper.
That's a good car.
If you're one of the very few people who
steal
have
that.
never watched BuzzFeed Unsolved on YouTube, the series can basically be
BuzzFeed.
summarized like this. It's sort of a ghost hunting show, but not a typical one.
Thanks for the
The show
tip.
has two hosts,
I'ma try it on
Ryan
my
and
unborn
Shane.
child.
Now, Shane is a
I'm
diehard
talking
skeptic
about
of the
kill switch.
paranormal.
Anytime
Get
there's
that
like
money,
any
man.
chance of sort of any kind of mechanical
money, my nigga.
failure or just doors in
I've been
general,
doing YouTube
people
videos
are
all
always
day,
like,
so I'm
"But
keeping
well,
my
the door
voice nice and
opens, so it's
unstrained.
I don't want to argue with you on this. If you're really
thanks for the
if you find it
tip.
compelling, I'm happy for
I
you.
do find it compelling.
try
Yeah,
it.
great.
I'ma
I'm
try
happy
it.
for me too.
You gonna try to have
And
sex
then
with
there's
your
Ryan, who
unborn
is the
baby, my
polar
nigga?
opposite. And might even
Alaskan
be just a
tough
bit too scared of the
907. What it is,
supernatural.
baby? You know what I mean? How you doing, baby? Thank you for the membership. Thank you for purchasing the membership, homie.
In each episode, the two hosts visit allegedly haunted places and
Kill
investigate
Gaming.
to
What's up,
search for
bros?
real paranormal evidence.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we investigate St. Augustine Lighthouse as part of our
Nigga.
ongoing investigation into the
Bro, you
question,
gonna
are
investigate?
ghosts real?
No.
In this episode, they are investigating
your
the
ass is about
notoriously
to die.
haunted St. Augustine Lighthouse in
about to
Florida.
lose
The
everything
lighthouse
out
was
this
completed
bitch.
in 1874 and has
Nigga
seen
doing
its
way
fair
too
share of
much.
tragedy over the nearly 200 years that it has been guiding sailors home from the sea.
Nigga.
BuzzFeed Unsolved hosts Ryan and Shane begin their investigation
Nigga.
at the
I
historic
actually
Lightkeeper's
passed out
house,
Friday
which is right
and
beside the
was sent
lighthouse.
home.
People say that they have heard the
Curse Wolf
endless
Gaming, bro.
and
You work
painful
hard for your
coughing
money, bro. You
of the
deserve
spirit
that.
of a man named
You
William
deserve your
Harn.
money, bro.
He was the very
That's
first
hard work,
keeper of the
bro.
lighthouse
I passed out
back
at
in the
work like
1800s.
3 days ago, but it
Harn
wasn't a pass. I
tragically
just went
passed
to the
away
bathroom.
inside the house of
was
malaria
cool, you know what I'm
and the
saying?
lung disease tuberculosis.
Yeah.
When they try to reach out to the spirit of William, the two friends capture something truly bizarre.
Nigga, what are you
All
doing?
right, we're gonna give you some silence here, William. If there's anything you'd like to say to us, maybe a message you wish you could have communicated before you left Earth. I'm gonna sit in one of these little tiny chairs and make me look like you.
Hey,
Gonna give
hey,
you some
Bruce,
silence
Drew,
right
Is this stream
now.
called 21 True Horror Stories Animated? Oh, okay. Nuke's top 5. You know, let's see what scary. Hey, what should I call the stream? Yeah, I mean,
Ryan
should
and
I call
Shane
this
captured the unexplained
Nuke's
sound of
scary-
someone coughing, just like guests claim to have heard
Scary
in the
Nuke's
past.
videos.
Could this be the spirit of
We gonna-
William
we gonna
who
name
died
the
of
video
tuberculosis?
Top 5 scariest
Next,
videos.
Ryan
to
and
scare
Shane
your
finally
inner
enter the
demons.
actual lighthouse,
Top 5.
which is said to be a hotbed of paranormal activity.
Yeah.
The
so I
best
want you to
ghost
name it
evidence
top
of all
5
time, in
ghost
my opinion,
videos
or at least some of
to
it,
scare
has been caught right here
yourself silly.
in this little rotunda. I mean, they caught an
About to
apparition
go to
full
Nissan,
out,
to be honest, bro.
just
You ain't gonna hit
peeking
the
over
strip
the
club?
railing.
It is said
Bro,
that
if I had
paranormal
$100,
investigators
bro,
always have an
I'd straight to the
experience in the
strip club.
lighthouse when they are
I mean,
alone.
that's
So to test this
for real,
theory,
for real.
both Ryan and Shane
You
will
know
be
what I'm
locked
saying?
inside separately to investigate. Shane heads in first for his solo investigation, but he doesn't really experience much.
All right, so I'm going in there, I'm going to the top,
Yeah.
and I'm coming back down.
Yeah, that's what you do in a staircase. Yeah.
Sounds good. This is high time for a ghoul to come out and spook me.
oh shit, my bad. I
So
wasn't
far, no
watching the stream,
clues.
so it wasn't full
This is
screen.
allegedly the site of a
That
lot
wasn't
of
supposed to run.
FBAs or full
Oh, bro, I
body
wrote a new song.
apparitions.
Y'all
I
wanna,
feel
you know
nothing.
what I
I
mean?
really
Like,
don't. I don't get
y'all
any
wanna hear the new
vibes.
song I wrote?
I haven't
the
felt
song I
anything
wrote?
strange all night. All right, see you
I
later,
wrote it to
dudes.
Jimmy Cooks.
Next, it's Ryan's turn. And now, before we proceed,
Top
it should be
five.
noted here that during the building of the lighthouse, a young girl named Eliza
Top five
tragically
scary
lost her
ghost,
life
top
while
five ghost
playing
videos
at the
to give you
construction
diarrhea
site.
at night.
Visitors have reported seeing a young girl in a red dress inside the lighthouse
That's what we'll
who
name
just
it.
faded away into thin
Top
air right
five.
before their eyes.
Ghost videos.
Everyone who's gone in there has
That
seen
give you
something,
diarrhea,
for
that
the
will
most
give you
part,
diarrhea.
if they've gone by themselves.
to give yourself
what?
diarrhea
I'm
at night.
eager to add my name to that
BHD, I
roster.
know you probably can't react to it due to copyright, but have you ever seen a video called Island Boy by the Island Boys? They are the white version of Kodak Black.
Is there anybody in here with me right now?
Shit.
name
Island
is
Boy.
Brian.
I've never seen it before.
What?
I've never seen it.
Can you say my name
Let's
back to
do
me?
it. That name.
Oh my god, I
Yeah.
just heard Eliza.
Nigga.
Oh my god.
All right, Joe, I got y'all.
Eliza? Why do you sound like that? Oh my god.
Why do I sound like that? What you mean, bitch? Shut up, bitch.
I do hear you. Oh my god.
Do you hear me?
I got the chills.
God damn, this nigga's face is pale.
Why
Why are you leaving?
What the is that what you just say?
What?
Because I'm scared, that's why.
I gotta see that shit. Hold on now. I didn't see none of this.
Air, Neil,
Happens to me. Good.
does investigate. We always have an experience in the lighthouse when they are alone. So to test this theory,
boys, we smell
both Ryan
shut.
and Shane will be
Y'all
locked
smell
inside
shut. What?
separately to investigate. Shane heads in first for his solo investigation, but he doesn't really experience much.
Good.
All right, so I'm
He didn't
going in there.
experiment. That's good.
I'm going to the top,
Yeah.
and I'm coming back
Man,
down.
don't y'all do this, man.
Yeah, that's what you do in a staircase. Yeah.
Sounds good.
No, that's dude. Y'all jokes aren't
This is
even
high
funny. What do you
time
do?
for a
Don't
ghoul to come out and spook
don't
me.
go in here. Don't do this.
So
What are
far,
you
no
doing?
clues.
Do not
This is
go up these
allegedly the site
stairs.
of a lot of FBAs or full body
They play too much.
apparitions. I feel nothing. I really don't. I don't get any
I mean, shit.
vibes.
Oh. I remember
haven't
when your
felt anything
channel was
strange
finna
all
get
night.
deleted by Disney.
All right, see you
Bitch
later,
ass,
dudes.
what happened to that?
Next, it's Ryan's.
Bro, you want to know what happened to that shit, nigga? I got 13 strikes all at once, and YouTube was nice enough to culminate all of 13 strikes into just 2 strikes. So I have 2 strikes, and you know what I mean? So yeah.
Turn. And now,
Y'all thought I
before we
was lying,
proceed, it should
nigga?
be noted here that during the building of the lighthouse, a young girl named Eliza tragically lost her life while playing at the
Chocolate,
construction
nigga.
site. Visitors have
chocolate.
reported seeing a young girl in a red dress inside the lighthouse
Chocolate,
who just
nigga.
faded away into
It's
thin air
delicious.
right before their eyes.
What?
Everyone who's gone in
What?
there
What?
has seen something.
What?
For the most part, if they've
No.
gone by themselves. You know what?
No.
I'm eager to add my
Don't
name
you
to
do
that
this.
roster.
Hey. Don't you do this. Hey. Hey. Hey, you better go back outside.
Oh boy.
Get your black ass back outside. Don't you do this. What?
My name is Brian. What? Can you say my name
What the
back to
fuck?
me? Oh my god.
I don't hear
heard
that.
Eliza. Oh my god. Eliza? Why do you sound like that? Oh my god, I'm panicking.
I don't even hear shit.
I do hear you. Oh my god, it just hard to hear me. I got the chills.
I don't hear any of these words. You guys hear this shit? I don't hear shit.
Because I'm scared.
Am I
that's
blind?
why.
You in the T
Sayonara,
H
you
C
had your
peppermint
chance.
bark right now? That's what's up. I don't hear any of this. Run, bitch.
At the many viewers pointed out as he gets some very weird direct responses on his spirit web and and
Time for a ghoul to come out and spook me.
Oh, hey, don't do this.
So far, no ghouls.
Is he gonna
did
get
you see it?
what the fuck?
Watch
See what?
again.
Hold on now.
This is high time for a ghoul to come out and spook me.
What?
So far, no ghouls.
A dark figure of a man can be seen standing at the bottom of the lighthouse.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked.
When the footage is brightened, the man has no distinguishable features and looks more like a black mass than a person. Now, Shane was completely alone inside the lighthouse when he filmed.
No.
So just who or what is this?
Somebody
Could
let
it
you
be
know
the
you fucking
ghost
up.
of one of the many deceased keepers who are said to haunt
He's
the
fucking
lighthouse? You decide.
We all see, hey, he's fucking up, right?
All right, see you later, dudes.
The final night.
Final night.
Alexander
Five
Labuzov
Nights
from
at Freddy's,
Russia
nigga?
says that he's been living in the same apartment for
Are
over
those videos
3
on YouTube
years.
real or fake? Nigga, this
when
shit is real,
suddenly
nigga.
and inexplicably,
real.
strange paranormal
I've lived
things
in a
begin
ghost
to
house,
happen
nigga.
around his
I've
home.
lived in a haunted house,
Loud,
nigga.
unexplained noises
can't
would
convince
wake
me
him up
ghosts
in the
ain't real,
middle of
nigga.
the night. Things around the house
Fuck
would
that.
move on their own. And scariest of all, one night when he was in bed, sound asleep, someone or something suddenly grabbed onto his wrist, squeezing hard. He jerked his arm away and lurched out of bed, searching his room. But there was no one there.
Nigga.
He says that the paranormal activity in his apartment just increased over time until eventually he decided to just move out.
You think?
So Alex is set to move out of his apartment the next day, but he decides to try to record the strange supernatural activity one last time. This video was meant to be Alex's last night in his apartment. First, he sits in front of his camera and explains what's been going on in his apartment. As he's talking, he hears something strange.
Я сразу же вскочил.
Don't show us.
Включил свет.
See what?
Это не может не напугать.
Oh shit. Oh! You hear that? Nigga. They stealing shit. Somebody's stealing the TV. Don't go check on it. Huh? Be black. You be black. Don't be white. You be black. Don't you go look. Don't never look. Never look. Don't you look. No. No. Nigga, don't invest. Nigga, quit investigating, nigga. Please don't do this. We don't deserve this. Oh, hell no. No. I don't do that. I don't like this. I don't like this. Help! My buddy's house is a murder house. Really, Curse Gaming? Curse Wolf Gaming? Lady kills her 2 kids in or something. Damn, nigga! Flip over, everybody! Run! Run, bitch!
Something moves somewhere in the apartment, and Alex believes it might have been the kitchen cabinet door. He decides to set up his camera in his bedroom and leaves for 2 hours to meet up with a friend.
Hell no. No.
Алло?
Nope.
Да, сейчас приеду, ага.
Nope.
Давай.
No. We don't like this.
Alex turns off the light and leaves.
Trayvon, he tripping.
What happens while he's gone
I don't like
is
this.
truly bizarre.
I don't like this. No. No. This isn't that bad. Okay, that's not good. That's definitely not good. But at least there's not somebody behind. There's nobody behind it is what's good. And I'm manifesting that. No. No. We don't need to see it faster. That makes it worse. No. Fuck. Shit. Shit. Yeah! Come on! Damn it! No! Hey, you better stop that shit. No. Mom, help. I don't like this. I don't want this. No, stop! Rape! No! Nigga. No. I'm paying Mexicans to come back and get my shit. How am I doing? Well, I've done better. You know, this is actually scaring the shit out of me. And it's at night.
Alex returns home and just goes to bed. The next day, he discovers that his landlord is unavailable to pick up his apartment keys. And
For the
after
$50
reviewing his
donation, bro.
footage,
How's my
Alex
day
is
been, Blast?
unsatisfied
Love
with
your
the
content, and it's great to
potato-quality
watch your
video
stream
he
and
has
videos
recorded in
after
his
a long
dark
day.
apartment.
That's real shit.
So, he decides to stay one more night.
Stay one more
This
night?
time leaving the camera recording
What are you
with the
doing?
lights on. Just like the night
Subscribers,
before,
do something!
he again leaves to meet up with a friend.
You're killing
The camera
us!
captures something downright creepy.
You're killing us! Hey, look, I know it's my last. No! No! Okay, this little bit of movement is cool. Little bit of movement's fine. That's not bad. That's not okay. I don't like that. Hey. No. Hey, is that a noose, my nigga? This nigga about to hang this nigga? Nigga. No. Nigga, I don't do this. Red, help. Help! Help! Nigga! Bro. Hey, this ain't funny, man. No. I don't want none of this. See Miles knows. No! What? Nigga! Rape! Rape! Oh, this nigga's throwing condiments now. Can we not move it?
Alex is shocked when he comes home as he discovers that his camera has somehow flipped upside down all on its own. He grabs the camera and begins to film his thoughts on the strange situation.
I'm gonna edit that out.
What happens next is absolutely terrifying.
Oh my God. No.
У нас сегодня рыбный день.
No. No. No.
Что там осталось? Слушай, ну вообще жесть.
No.
Ну что могу сказать?
No.
Это был последний день, поэтому
No.
мы уже... Блядь! О. До усрачки. Это можно вообще.
Nope. Absolutely not.
О, блядь.
Hell no. To the no.
A pair of
Hell to
legs
the
can
no.
be seen standing right behind Alex in the doorway.
What the
The legs
fuck?
appear to have no torso and disappear
fuck?
before Alex can even turn around. So, did Alex capture proof of the paranormal in his apartment? Or is it illusion?
I ain't even see the
I leave it
legs.
up to you to decide.
These are the truth. Hey, that's for real.
Viewer videos.
Viewer videos.
Ethan Budzinski was on a family vacation in the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania when strange things began to happen in his rented Airbnb home. Late one night, Ethan and his family hear the sound of a baby crying from somewhere in the house.
Nope.
Now, Ethan's two young nephews are asleep in bed
Nope.
upstairs, so
Nope.
he immediately runs up to check on them, only to find that they are both quietly asleep in bed. This occurs several times. Ethan hears crying, then goes upstairs to find the children quietly asleep. So the next time Ethan hears the crying, he pulls out his phone and starts recording.
Hell no. No. Nope. Nigga. Y'all see this shit? Nigga. Hey, don't you do that. Don't you come out of that. Don't you do that. You better not do that. Don't you? Hey, Dragon Den. Hey, man, I've been watching your vids for a minute. And bro.
Yeah.
You've come a long way, and I want to say I'm proud of you. Respect all the way. Hey, that's what's up, Dragons Den. I appreciate you, bro. All day, every day. Not the addict, bro. Not the addict. Yes, kill switch gaming. Never the addict. What are we doing, bro? What are we doing? Don't you do it. Hold on now. No. 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 Let's go. Can we leave?
The eerie sound of a child crying can indeed be heard coming from somewhere upstairs. Both Ethan and a family member hear the sound.
Yep.
But when he
that's
heads
real
upstairs
demonic,
to
that's
check,
real demonic pores.
just like before, the children
this
are
bitch for
fast
the insurance
asleep
money and
and
get
not
out.
making a sound.
That's for real.
So just where is the strange, unexplained crying coming from?
Do more happy friends. Hey, Dawson, Nada. I got you, but
Let me know what you
Dawson's
think
be
down in the comments.
Happy Tree
A British
Friends be
News Top 5
copyrighted.
viewer who wishes to remain anonymous will
I
call
shit in
her
my pants.
Jen.
Hey, that's
Says
what's
that
up,
she had a
Jen.
chilling
That's what's up,
experience that
Trevon.
wasn't paranormal, but was terrifying nonetheless. And as I've personally always said on
Put
this
something in your
channel,
hand and then smear
real
it in
people
somebody's
can be
face.
much scarier than anything supernatural. So late
shout
one
out
night
twice.
around
No
midnight,
problem,
Jen
Kill
starts
Switch Gaming.
receiving
What you
messages
said
from a
was
guy
funny.
on Facebook. At first, she plays along, but the messages from the stranger just get creepier and creepier. I'll correct some of the typos and slang and save you from listening to me doing a terrible British accent. But what you see on screen are the actual messages. So, at one point, the guy suddenly writes, "Well, since you're up, can I come and meet you then?" "Yes, I am mental. I'm on my way down to your house. I'll ring when I'm outside."
That's not how you get bitches.
Thinking he's joking, Jen laughs it off, writing back, "You don't even know where I live." And then the guy starts trying to creepily call her on Facebook, because it turns out that he does actually know exactly where she lives. He types, "You live next to my granny's house on the corner." Then he continues to call her, and things go from bad to worse, because he actually shows up right in front of her house.
Did you see it?
"Don't make me knock, please."
Oh my
He
God.
messages, "I'm outside the center window right now." Jen
Yep.
is now
And he's in the
understandably
van.
completely freaked out. She tells the guy that she is not coming out under any circumstances. But he won't take no for an answer.
Oh my God.
"Is that your window at the front?
Nigga.
How do I get in your back garden?"
What?
Jen replies, "You don't," and ends the conversation. But it did not end there.
Call!
Jen says the
Call the
disturbed
police,
young man
nigga!
stood in front of her house for almost 2 hours.
Call the police,
He eventually
nigga.
left after her family members went outside and told him to leave or they would call the police.
Just call
So
the
I
police
guess
in
the
the first
takeaway
place.
is either be careful of who you talk to
What you
online,
doing, bitch?
or simply Facebook sucks.
A little bit of both. Facebook kind of sucks. Nigga.
Susan's Courtside Cafe in Kissimmee,
See,
Florida
that's why
was
y'all need to
originally
blink.
built
That's
in
why y'all need to,
1912,
all y'all
and
females,
over most of the last
at least the
100
attractive
years, the
ones,
building was actually
need
a
to be
small
dating a nigga like
home
me.
for many families
I
and
go out there and
individuals.
fight that nigga. Fuck that.
Locals believe that the building the cafe
Fuck
is
it.
in is
Nigga,
haunted
this
by
is
the
my
spirits
hole
of
you're
its
fucking
former
with.
residents.
Yeah, I mean,
Workers
this is my
at the
hole.
cafe say that they
Don't
often
you?
hear unexplained noises
You
while
get the
working
fuck away
late at
from my
night,
hole,
and
goddammit.
both the staff
And
and
yes, that's
visitors claim to have seen
HOLE,
bizarre
sir.
shadow figures throughout
This is
the
my
restaurant.
crevice.
News
that you're
Top 5
fucking
viewer
with.
Valerie Ann says that she went on a Halloween ghost tour in Kissimmee that stopped at the allegedly haunted
Is that not
Susan's
good?
Courtside Cafe, and it seems that the rumors of paranormal activity might be true.
This is
Valerie
my
caught
crevice.
this strange footage.
Sorry.
This is where I ejaculated into.
I saw something walk by.
God damn it.
Really?
Did you see it?
What are you
It's a
doing in
little
my
hard
hole?
to make out, but a dark figure seems to quickly
That's
pass
real
through the
quick.
cafe dining room before just disappearing.
Nope.
Someone in the tour group mentions it, but
Don't do
Valerie Ann is shocked when she discovers that she actually caught the apparition on camera.
Don't do that.
She says that she has no idea who or what this mysterious figure could be. But what do you
What if he
think?
has a gun in his waistline? Fuck.
The home of the Jinn.
Well,
one of the
then you
OG
let him have her.
door-kicking ghost hunters that I
Oh, my
first
bad,
featured
sir.
on
I
this
didn't know it
channel,
was that serious. Here you
Adventurer
go.
Allah, is
You
back
can have her,
with an
bro.
all-new
She's
YouTube
not, you know what I
channel.
mean? Like,
In this live stream, Allah goes to investigate a large abandoned building that is said to be haunted by an
Why?
evil presence.
Why would
or
you do
jinn.
that?
As he broadcasts his exploration live, things take a terrifying turn.
يا جماعة
nigga.
أي شيء أنا ما أشوفه على طول.
Hold on
على طول
now.
على الخاص.
What are we doing? Why does he have a band-aid on his face? To Allah? Allah sent you there, nigga? The Lord makes you do this?
بسم الله.
Man, if you don't shut your religious ass
Allahu
the fuck
Akbar.
up. Allahu Akbar. Should I not make a bomb joke here? Bro, Allah about to get you fucked up. You fucking up. You fucking up. Good. You don't blame this shit on Allah, nigga. He didn't make you do this. Oh, shit! Run, man! You seek refuge in Allah, nigga. Your ass is about to seek refuge in the dirt. You are about
Even
to
though there's no
die.
power in the building, the ceiling fan begins to rotate on its own.
Nigga.
And a heavy table falls over right behind Allah. Freaked out, he runs away, retreating to a different section of the large building.
Dumbass.
But little does Allah know, things are about to get even creepier.
How you gonna hide from the haunted house inside of the haunted house, nigga? Nigga! What sense does that make? Does he?
الله لا إله إلا هو الحي
Does
القيوم.
Allah suffice you,
لا
nigga?
تأخذه سنة
Alright,
ولا
let's
نوم.
see. Let's
له
see
ما في
what Allah
السماوات
does.
وما في
Yeah,
الأرض.
yeah, nigga. Yeah,
من
nigga.
ذا الذي يشفع
Yeah,
عنده إلا
nigga. Yo,
بإذنه.
this nigga about to
يعلم ما
eat
بين
your ass
أيديهم
while
وما
you
خلفهم.
praying to Allah,
ولا
nigga.
يحيطون
It's
بشيء من علمه
going
إلا ما
down.
شاء.
His throat.
وسع
And
كرسيه
he's not gonna
السماوات
give a
والأرض.
fuck. He doesn't give a
ولا
shit about your
يؤوده
praying.
حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم.
Nigga. Shut the fuck up. Get in my belly. Nigga, did the ghost just poop? You about to die, nigga. It's over, nigga. Allah is not there with you, nigga.
من كان في هذا المكان سحر
If there's magic
فاقتل.
here, may Allah stop it. You stupid motherfucker. But yeah, nigga,
الله أكبر.
you gon' fucking Harry Potter your way out the shit. Tell this nigga to not use magic, really, nigga. Good luck, nigga. It's over for this nigga. He's dead. He's gone, baby. This nigga's done. Let's stick a fork in his stupid
في أحد؟
ass.
في أحد في المكان؟
Yep, they about to show you who here. Show you right up the back of your ass.
بسم
You better
الله.
go grab them crutches. Nigga, Allah ain't helping you, nigga. Look, nigga. Yeah, no, Allah got you. This is not bad. Don't Allah got you, nigga?
حسبي الله
Whatever
ونعم
happened to
الوكيل
that?
فيكم.
Does he suffice you, nigga?
الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم.
Yep.
لا تأخذه
That's how that
سنة
shit
ولا
works.
نوم.
Yep.
له
Allah,
ما
as
في
you see,
السماوات
Allah's
وما
not
في
stopping his
الأرض.
magic, dumbass.
من ذا الذي يشفع
Run,
عنده إلا
bitch.
بإذنه. يعلم ما
Run,
بين
you
أيديهم وما
stupid
خلفهم.
bastard.
ولا يحيطون بشيء
If we gotta
من
watch you
علمه
die,
إلا
I
بما
swear to
شاء.
God, we better not have to watch him
وسع
die.
كرسيه السماوات
Don't you do this, us. My nigga said
Terrifying
mistakes were
darkness-like
made.
figure can be seen in the doorway.
Why your
A
toes
pair
said
of crutches
mistakes were
aggressively
made?
flies across the room right in front of the terrified explorer.
I can
He
imagine
investigates the
Blastphamoushd
area,
losing his
but
mind playing current day Phasmophobia
nothing
in
there.
VR. No,
The
you
mysterious
can.
dark mist has simply disappeared.
Nigga.
But it's not over yet.
It ain't?
بسم الله.
Stupid bastard.
اللهم كان هذا سحر مفطل.
Please eat his ass, ghost. If there is magic, may Allah stop it. You stupid son of a bitch. If there's buried magic, really,
وما
nigga.
كان في سحر معقود مفطل.
That was something in the window. That was a person in the window. Nigga, did you see it? Did you see it?
أعوذ بكلمات الله
I saw
التامات
it.
من شر ما خلق.
Oh yeah, that's helping. Yeah, it's working. Stupid bastard. You're killing us.
بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء.
Guys, he's killing
ولا
us.
في السماء. وهو السميع العليم.
Nigga.
وهو السميع العليم.
Nigga.
اللهم كان
Stupid
هذا سحر
motherfucker, you deserve to be haunted. Yeah, get his ass. Yep, get him. Woo, Ghost, get him. Fuck him
Plate falls off
up.
a table on its own, then another ceiling fan begins to rotate, and a large heavy closet moves as if pushed by some powerful, unseen
Get his
force.
ass. I'm rooting for the
Something
ghost
is
in this
thrown
one.
at Allah, injuring his foot.
Yep, get
And
his bitch
after that,
ass.
He's had about enough.
Stupid motherfucker.
Allah decides to just get out of there and end his live stream.
Have a
So
band-aid
did
on your
adventurer
forehead.
Allah capture a real haunting by a terrifying jinn?
So did praying to Allah save him from getting fucked up by the ghost? You decide.
Or is it all just a very elaborate hoax? You decide. Return to the Red House. Paranormal investigator Kevin Blanco from the YouTube channel Archivo Extinto returns to explore the historic La Casa Colorada, or the Red House, in Guadalajara, Mexico. The house was built in 1923, and it is said that the remote and secluded location became a place where cults performed dark rituals.
I mean, shut
Those
the
brave
fuck
enough
up
to
next
explore the
time.
old house claim to have seen witches,
This nigga.
demons, and even the skeletal female figure of Santa Muerte.
So
a
did his
Mexican
prayers
saint
to
who is said
Allah
to wear a
save
long
him
cloak
from the
and be
magic
the
that was inside the house that
personification
the
of
ghost
death
was fucking him up
itself.
with? You
Now, 2
decide.
months ago, I featured Kevin's
Nigga.
first visit to the Red
Nigga
House
fucking up,
years
man.
ago. While exploring the house with his friends, the group captured something that they simply couldn't explain.
Shit. Yo, I want to thank you guys for all the donations, bro. I really appreciate y'all. I'm gonna make this a nice long stream. Yeah, I mean, we gonna watch a bunch of bullshit. Nigga, yeah, that's real. Kill Switch Gaming, he didn't save him. The big happy, he got no help. Sage Violet, what's up, bro? Bro, what's up, Tweez Lamar? That was crack smoke. Really? Someone broke into this nigga's house and smoked crack?
Aquí hace mucho frío,
Oh, that wasn't good.
Hace bastante.
That was definitely a ghost. That's not
Aquí
good.
hace mucho frío,
Yep, that's not good.
Hace bastante.
It's not good. Man, not a good look. I don't like it.
Cut to 2 years later. After many requests from his fans,
He's still out
paranormal
here fucking
investigator
up.
Kevin returns
Yo,
to the
do car
quote,
crash
Red
videos.
House in hopes of capturing even
Bruh,
more
you know, that's
paranormal
probably a good
evidence.
idea.
But this time, he decides to go back all alone.
Y'all want to watch
As you
some car
might
crash
guess,
videos?
It did not go well. Kevin sets up several static cameras around the house, then he lights 3 candles and starts to ask questions to who or whatever might be haunting the abandoned home. Kevin is using an English
Look,
spirit box
ghosts be
app
fucked,
and translates
but
the
imagine walking
responses
across
to Spanish. Before long,
cryptid,
very strange things
blasphemous.
start to happen.
What state you live in? I live in Las Vegas.
Voy a utilizar.
I saw something move. Yeah, I'm already seeing stuff. That's not good. Dumbass.
Scarlet.
Scarlett. ¿Podrías hacerme daño?
Dumbass. You asking all the wrong questions, stupid.
Throw. No sé qué es throw. Lo voy a buscar. Lanzar.
This nigga dumbass. I'll look up what throw means. Yep. Throw, nigga.
As Kevin repeats
his
the
punk
word
ass an
throw
example.
in Spanish, a heavy piece of rubble is seemingly thrown off the edge of a large hole in the wall. Kevin grabs his camera and walks through the building in search of anything paranormal.
Dumbass. It did not go well. Bro, I need to be black nukes out this bitch. Kevin is going through this large, abandoned looking school as he gets his ass eaten clean off by a force that he can't explain. 6 years later, he goes back to the same place to see if it happens again. It did not go well.
Me quedo sin luz. Me quedé sin luz.
Ran a light.
Sin luz.
Look on the bright side. He's fucked. It's over for him.
Sin luz.
Oh my God. I see that. This isn't good. It did not go well. I thought you ran out of light, liar.
The ghost hunter's light begins to fail. Then he hears a noise and turns. Without knowing it at the time, he captures something strange in the darkness, quickly darting out of sight. Soon after, Kevin's camera begins to malfunction and things take an even more terrifying turn.
Oh boy.
Mi cámara está trabada.
Yep.
Y vean, vean. Vean esto. Mi cámara está trabada.
Out here fucking up. He fucking up?
Está trabada.
That's what he doing. Fucking up.
Se trabó. Está completamente trabada, vean. Lo voy a apagar.
This nigga need a hobby, man. He need a job or something.
Ven.
Fucking up.
Ahí se apagó, pero sigue trabada. ¿Me quieres hacer daño?
Run, bitch! Don't be quiet. Hold on now.
Voy a cambiarla. Voy a sacarle la pila.
Excuse me? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Move. Yep. Dumbass. Does he not know he's fucking up? A woman's voice. Is she naked? Leave, bro. Leave. Yeah, that's real shit. Bro, he should have been and left. Oh no. Ooh! Ooh!
Kevin's camera completely locks up, and as he changes the battery, a wailing moan can be heard, followed by the mysterious voice of a woman.
Yeah.
He's fucking up.
He goes to investigate and captures what appears to be the same mysterious cloaked figure that the Archivo Extinto team captured just 2 years earlier.
Damn.
Kevin
And she got her
searches
clothes
the building
on.
and the grounds, but he doesn't find anyone or anything. When his equipment continues to malfunction repeatedly, he decides he's had enough. He packs up and just gets out of there. So could it be that Kevin captured the apparition of Santa Muerte, the cloaked Lady of Death? Let me know what you think. You can watch this full 3-part investigation over on the YouTube channel, Archivo Extinto.
Yeah, that nigga about to be extinct.
Thanks for watching. Please follow me on the...
This nigga keep doing this shit, man. He about to be extinct real quick. You know what I'm saying? About to get his whole ass eaten off. This nigga fucking up.
Top 5 ghosts caught on camera. Turning the tables. Paranormal investigators Jordan and Johnny from the YouTube channel Paranormies were contacted about an old abandoned farmhouse that's said to be extremely haunted. Over the last 70 years, the farmhouse in Steinbach, Canada has been passed from owner to owner under very mysterious circumstances. In fact, it is said that no one has ever lived in the house for more than 2 or 3 years. Rumors began to circulate that the reason that so many people moved from the house was because it was extremely haunted by a demonic presence. New owners claimed to hear unexplained voices, and their children woke up screaming, claiming to see the terrifying apparition of what they called, quote, a bad man. And the haunting is not just inside the home. Strange dark figures have been seen in the property's barn. The couple who reached out to the Paranormies team say that they've seen someone staring at them from outside the window on the 2nd floor, which is about 10 to 12 feet off the ground. Eventually, no one wanted to buy this supposedly cursed house, no matter how low the price. The farmhouse has now been abandoned for years. Paranormies team member Jordan sits down in the home's bathroom to do a sensory deprivation session. So while team member Johnny asks questions, Jordan will be blindfolded with headphones blocking out all other sound, except what comes through their spirit box. What happens next shocks them both.
Oh, this is good.
I'm doing a sensory deprivation here. We got this camera and this camera. We heard some noises coming from this area while we were kind of just setting up the cameras, and it just sounded like it was trying to draw us into this area, so we wanted to do a sensory deprivation here. But we're gonna be doing it a little bit differently. Jordan's gonna be in here, and he's gonna be calling it out, and I'm gonna be wandering around the house so we can kind of just split up and see what we can hear. If you're the one who scared
white people fucking up
that
on this
couple
one.
off,
White
can you
people
make a
fucking
noise
up.
for us?
Motherfuckers go do a sensory deprivation
Or
in the
give
most
Jordan some
haunted house,
answers.
a haunted part of the house. Not good. Nigga.
Johnny.
Did you hear that? What was that?
I heard something.
Uh-oh.
It was this light bulb, dude.
A light bulb.
Look. Oh my god.
That wasn't already there?
No.
They fucking
Not
up.
long after Johnny asks for the spirit to make a sound for them, a light bulb mysteriously falls to the floor right outside the bathroom where Jordan is sitting. When slowed down, you can actually see their static camera capture the moment the light bulb falls to the floor.
That's how y'all feel?
Now, this
Y'all want
could
me to
just
go?
be a very strange coincidence. But what happens next
Y'all
is a
want me
lot
to go
harder to
hunt for ghosts,
explain.
nigga?
While setting
Is that
up
how
more
y'all
static
feel?
cameras, things take a
I thought
terrifying
y'all loved
turn.
me.
Okay, yeah, so I kind of want to set up a camera in that corner there, and I want to set up a camera
Nigga, them
either in this
bees?
corner or...
Nigga. Stop. Nigga, what the fuck is going on, bro? That was scary as shit I've ever. Oh my god. I can't do this. I can't do this.
What?
What? Niggas, assemble!
Jordan.
Retreat!
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Run, bitch!
Where should we go, dude? I want to get out of
What
here.
you mean? Are you okay?
A heavy
Run.
table takes a hard flip over all on its own, and the two investigators are understandably a bit freaked out. But there was something else that happened during this creepy incident. Something you might not have even noticed.
Yeah, I shit my pants. That's what happened.
That was going on during the table incident that I think was missed. And for me personally, one of the scariest things, aside from the table being flipped, was hearing the footsteps coming down the stairs.
Oh my god!
Something seems to actually run down the wooden stairs, and a split second later, the table is flipped over violently. Jordan and Johnny take a break before continuing their investigation.
Hell no!
Then they head to the farm's barn.
Why?
The two guys question whether the necrophonic spirit box app they're using is actually working. And they get a very unexpected answer.
Is necrophonic real? So it sounded like it said... What was that? That's what that was.
You throw a box, you say yes, you threw the box.
So it sounded like it said... What was that?
You make something else move.
What appears to be a can and a box are thrown across the barn.
Nope.
The Paranormies guys quickly run over to the back of the barn to investigate.
cursed Wolf
But
Gaming.
there's no one there.
Merz, watch RDC
The guys have
World
no
Dodgeball
idea what
Company.
could have suddenly launched these objects into the air.
I was there for it.
Soon after,
I
Jordan and
already saw
Johnny
it
call
happen.
it a night and end their investigation. But after uploading their video to YouTube, their viewers were shocked to see something that the paranormies actually missed while exploring the abandoned farm. Take a very close look.
This place, all the glass is shattered and stuff.
Nope. Nope. Oh, don't you do it. Is that something in the window?
So it's got to be that window.
It'd be that window,
Yeah,
barn.
upstairs,
Shine the light
yeah.
back here. Yo, Johnny.
What?
Yeah, there's a barn back there. Oh, I can't really see it on my camera.
Did you see it? What looks like a dark hand can
I
be
saw
seen
that.
reaching out from
Oh
the
my
second
God.
floor window. This
Oh
is
my
the same
God.
window where the couple claimed that they saw someone looking in at them.
Oh my God.
So could this be the demonic entity that locals claim haunt the abandoned farmhouse?
More than likely.
Did Jordan and Johnny capture evidence of the paranormal activity that has driven past owners away in only a couple of years?
Yes.
Let me know what you think. You can watch this full 2-part series and many more scary investigations over on the YouTube channel Paranormies. Someone or something. Paranormal investigators Tarek, Merrick, and Rimsey from the YouTube channel Paranoiacs travel to a remote abandoned house in the middle of
People be
nowhere
really out here
in
hunting
Austria.
ghosts?
The structure, surrounded by
Means you go to
nothing but
100
snow,
church and
looks
you'll
like
spread
something
it.
straight out of a
Fancy
horror
spider. I'ma
movie.
need,
In the dead of night, the three friends brace the
I
icy cold weather to explore
I'm gonna
the
need
creepy
at least
building.
mouth sex for that one.
They quickly realize that
Yeah, I mean,
they
fancy
might
spider.
not be alone.
I'm gonna need a tuck job for that one. Maybe even a spin job.
Şuraya bak mesela.
Bak, çok good zaten.
Çok çökme tehlikesi var. Evin üstünde kar falan da var.
You remember me before. What's up, Hellboy? I do. Please, but you told me happy birthday. Happy birthday, bros.
EMF açayım. EMF aç.
Show you pussy, bitch.
Ben işte kamerayı açayım. Açtım.
United Breaks Guitars. Help. I think my emoji is possessed. Wow. There it is. Yep.
The Paranoiac team hears strange sounds, almost like footsteps coming from the second floor, and soon after, a heavy door falls over on its own. They question what they might be dealing with, something
up, Javon?
paranormal or someone up to
up,
no
Sam?
good. The three explorers hear more strange
What's up,
sounds
Alex?
coming from
What's up, Jack?
upstairs, and they cautiously approach the staircase to check it out.
Why would you?
It did
why would you
not
approach?
go well.
Why would you approach?
Seslerden ben şoktayım da yine de hemen çekip konuşup çıkmamız gerekiyor. Şu bir mezara benzemiyor mu? Bir ses var yine. Gel. Biz buraya bir girelim gel.
Aa şu içeri girdi.
Az bir çek.
What the fuck?
Yukarı çıkıyoruz. Emin misin abi? Abi ne oluyor? O nereden geldi ya? Yukarı çektin mi? Hiçbir şey yoktu yukarıda. Çektim abi de.
Resmen üstümüze attılar.
Hayır, yolu kapattılar. Abi bence burada var ya hiçbir yerde gımıldamaya gerek yok.
Abi şunun iğrençliğine bak.
Ha şurayı...
As they are debating whether to go upstairs, the decision is made for them as a heavy bed made of straw is thrown down the staircase, blocking their
The
path.
decision is made
The
for them.
Paranoiacs team
Good
decides
Lord, bro,
that's
the big happy. Look at
quite
that shit.
enough of all
Y'all see
that,
this shit?
and they just leave
Y'all
the
see the
creepy
shit that they go
abandoned
through? Why would I
structure.
want this for me?
But once back outside in
The
the
gun won't
freezing
help,
snow,
but it sure
they
makes
take
me feel
one
better.
last look
That's real
back
wild
at the
toast.
building.
That's real.
Yine gitti.
Hey, look.
Abi ses.
Hey, look. I know. I know a gun's not gonna help.
Aslında yukarıda da var.
But I just feel better.
Abi bir şey var orada.
Ne oluyor lan?
Abi bak siyah bir şey var.
Biliyor musun şunu? Yürü yürü.
Cin düğünü var.
A strange shadow
Yeah,
can
the
be
dog
seen
knows.
from one of the upstairs windows. The investigators believe the entity to possibly be a djinn. But what do you think? Were the investigators dealing with a dark presence? Is it a homeless squatter who was simply defending his territory? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide.
Yeah, bro, that's
you can watch this full video and many more creepy explorations over on the YouTube channel, Paranoiacs. If you see a video that you think would be perfect for the top 5, or if you have a ghost hunting channel and you caught something great, contact me at nukestop5@gmail.com. The Ghosts of Petworth Chapel. Paranormal investigators Jeff, Phil, and Mark from the YouTube channel Ghost Tech Paranormal Investigations traveled to the abandoned Petworth Chapel in a small village in Sussex, England.
Never go to a
In
chapel.
World War II, a German air raid hit a nearby boys' school,
Hey,
and
that's
28
real,
children tragically lost
They
their
don't love
lives.
themselves.
They were laid to rest in the chapel
Imagine someone was
cemetery.
walking up the stairs. Oh,
Cut
damn, that's
to
lame.
present day. Locals
Anime
and
ruler.
visitors to Petworth Chapel
Because
say
it
that
will
they
be
have seen
amusing
and heard the
to us,
apparitions
and
of
you love
children
us. I do
playing
love
in
you,
the
anime
cemetery.
ruler, but
And there's
I'm
even said to be
scared,
another
okay?
ghost
That's
haunting the
what- I'm
chapel,
scared.
as many believe that the spirit of the cemetery's
I don't
loyal
deserve
longtime
this shit.
groundskeeper still haunts the property.
World War II, yeah, that's real curse.
So as Ghost Tech begins their paranormal investigation late one night, team member Phil experiences something that he just can't explain.
Swap you over with that. Someone just pulled my jacket. No.
Yeah. Fuck.
I wonder why you moved a bit quick then.
Phil says he feels something tug at his jacket. Now, chilling as that might be, unfortunately, the static camera doesn't capture the creepy event. But later into the investigation, when the Ghost Tech team are inside the Petworth Chapel, Jeff takes a few photos, and what he captures is downright chilling.
Nigga.
That was strange. That one was all blurred. Don't move, Phil. Something's not right.
Jeff takes a picture of Phil, and at first everything seems normal. Nothing out of the ordinary. But then, a dark
really
mass
scared?
seems to rise right up out of the ground next to Phil, seemingly reaching out to him. So is it possible that
That's an
Ghost
L.
Tech captured one of the
fucking up.
spirits still restlessly wandering the cemetery grounds? Did whatever it was that tugged on Phil's jacket follow him into the chapel? You decide. You can watch this full video and many more investigations of tragic and chilling hauntings over on the YouTube channel, Ghost
Mind
Tech
controller says if I were a
Paranormal
piece of candy,
Investigations.
Would I be a Tootsie Roll?
And still,
Probably not.
Really Haunted. I featured the YouTube channel Really Haunted many times before, and for good reason.
Damn.
YouTuber Lee has uploaded some truly bizarre videos of an ongoing poltergeist haunting that he says is occurring in his home in England.
Oh, hell no. Nope. Nigga. No! Nope. No. Absolutely not. Nope.
Now, if you're a regular watcher of this channel, you know I'm not much of a believer in orbs. I think they're usually bugs or dust. But in this case, if
Hey,
you
what's up,
watch closely, you can actually
Maldonado?
see some sort
You
of
must
orb
say
appear
hi.
for a
We
split
love your
second
channel.
on
Well, I
screen
love
near the
y'all
chair,
back, man. I
right before it
appreciate
violently flips
Protesters are
over
supposed to be
and
ghost
breaks
free. Yeah,
into
you would think.
pieces.
Huh? The
And
Lord will come
amazingly,
down and
check
keep
out the
ghosts
doggo
from-
on the couch. He's not even bothered at all. But maybe living in this house, he's just used to it. But cut to another night, and Lee is fast asleep in bed. And then this happens.
The fuck is that? Bruh. What the fuck is that?
We can hear heavy thumping footsteps on the floor, and
The
then
mask
the
wolf.
nightstand
Hey, thank
suddenly
you for a
flips
dollar.
over
Thank you for the
on its
donation,
own.
bros.
And then
I appreciate you, homie.
something sets off the downstairs burglar
It was
alarm.
probably me farting is what set
But
off the
when
alarm.
Lee checks, there's no one in the house.
That's what it set off
Lee
the
says
alarm.
that
I
the
farted real
paranormal
bad.
activity
I
in his
farted real
home has
hard.
gotten so bad that lately his wife and kids have been sleeping in a camper parked outside the house. You can watch more of the crazy paranormal activity that Lee has recorded in his house over on his YouTube channel, Really Haunted. Meanwhile, on TikTok, a bus driver in Argentina claims that whenever he reaches the end of his bus route, which happens to be an old graveyard, that he always experiences strange, unexplained occurrences that he believes to be paranormal. So he started recording his experiences each time he reached the graveyard and posting them to TikTok. At first, he just used the TikTok filter reality ripple effect, which allegedly shows ghosts all around you.
She ain't dealing with it.
Detectar las ondas de calor y estoy acá en el cementerio. Aquella pared es la del cementerio. La concha de su madre, ¿qué fue eso? Esa pared, la puta que te parió. A ver, es solo la concha, la lora. A ver. La puta que te parió. A ver. Eso que no hay nadie, ¿Y eso? ¿Qué onda? ¿Quién sos? ¿Quién sos? Toca el timbre, a ver, toca el timbre. Dale, toca el timbre.
Oh, hell no.
La puta que te parió, la puta que...
Now, it was enough to freak him out, and also some of his more superstitious friends.
Hey, would you ever do this if money was involved? I would. I would. I'll do anything for money, man. I do many things for money, man. I do a lot of stuff I'm not, you know what I mean? I do some things I'm not proud of for some money. You know, I used to have, I used to make sex with ladies for money. You know, but
after he had recorded using the app for a couple of weeks, he says that he had a much more serious encounter.
Can you watch some Mr. Ballin' after this
graveyard.
video? Yes, I can.
That chilled him to his core.
You know what I mean?
La quinta parte. Vamos a ver si hoy captamos algo. La puta que le parió. ¿Qué fue eso? Parecieran como que me cerraron la... La puta madre. La puta madre, no grabo nunca más acá,
No. Ghost.
Me están abriendo la puerta. Lo vieron, Quedó grabado. Quedó grabado. La concha de su madre. La concha de su madre. Me están abriendo. ¡Ay! La puta que te parió.
Run, bitch.
¡Ah! La concha de su madre.
Run, bitch.
No. La puta que te parió.
That's not better, dumbass.
The Argentinian bus driver now seems to have stopped his late-night graveyard bus recordings completely. He hasn't recorded any ghost encounters since this last video. TikTok user DadSass says that she and her sister have been experiencing some strange paranormal phenomena in their home. One night when her sister is sleeping, their CCTV camera captures something truly bizarre.
So we've been home from the hospital for a while because our kids have RSV. And
was that a ghost in the background?
Thank God I have cameras because my sister was sleeping and we caught this bull.
Oh. Oh no. That's not good.
The family says that they have no pets in the house that could have pulled off the blanket. So I'm not sure what caused this.
That's not good.
So let me know what you think. Thanks so much for watching. Instagram here, Twitter there, and TikTok.
Bruh. That wasn't a fart, but I mean, you know, it was still pretty bad. All right, so this girl died horrifically twice. I am interested. I want to see this.
It would also be caught on camera.
This is Mr. Ballin.
In 2015, a young man living in Honduras made his way to the local cemetery and he found his wife's gravesite and he leaned up against it and he quietly began to cry. Seconds later, something would happen inside of that cemetery that would not only cause the young man to go silent, get up, and start running, but it would also be caught on camera. But before we get into today's stories, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right place because that's all we do, and we upload once a week. So if that's of interest to you, please invite the like button to come to the zoo with you, and then cover them in honey and push them into the bear enclosure. Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads.
I am subscribing.
Okay, let's get into today's stories.
Let's get it.
In the spring of 2021, 52-year-old Texas resident Karen Davis got married, and then after the ceremony and after the honeymoon, she went through the process of changing her last name from Davis to McBride to match her husband's last name. After the change was done, the last step was to get a new driver's license with the new name on it. So Karen emailed the local DMV, or Department of Motor Vehicles, to set up a time for her to come in and make the change to her license. But after she sent that email, the local DMV immediately emailed Karen back, and they told her that they could not help her with this request until she resolved an issue. Now, they didn't specify what this issue was. However, they very cryptically said it had something to do with the state of Oklahoma. And then at the bottom of the email, there was just a phone number they told her she needed to call in order to resolve this issue. And so Karen's thinking, okay, that's pretty weird, but I did used to live in Oklahoma, so that probably has something to do with it. And so, not thinking much of it, she punched this number the DMV had given her into her phone, and then she let it ring. A few moments later, much to Karen's shock, a woman from the Norman, Oklahoma District Attorney's Office picked up the phone and said, "How can I help you?" Karen immediately assumed that the DMV must have made a mistake, that maybe they were trying to give Karen some other number in Oklahoma because this was an Oklahoma problem, and they had mistakenly given her the number to the DA's office. But since she had this woman on the phone, Karen told her, hey, I was just trying to get a new license in Texas. They told me there was some sort of issue. It had to do with me potentially living in Oklahoma. I don't know what it is.
That's real cursed gaming.
But this is the number they gave me. So I'm sure it's a mistake, but that's why I'm calling. The woman from the DA's office had no idea who Karen was.
This is a new story.
After taking down Karen's information and looking on her computer, she discovered Karen's so-called Oklahoma problem. And after she explained to Karen what this enormous problem was, Karen literally couldn't believe it. But after this woman went over the details a few more times and really showed Karen that this Oklahoma problem was very, very real, suddenly everything in Karen's life made sense. For the last 22 years, Karen, who was incredibly smart and friendly and polite and never had a problem with anyone, had an incredibly hard time getting a job. Even jobs that she was extremely qualified for, she would get turned down for someone who was way less qualified. And then, in the rare times that Karen did actually get hired, she would always get fired for no reason. And so Karen never understood why she was being treated this way until now. It would turn out 22 years earlier, which is when Karen's hireability issues began, she lived in Norman, Oklahoma, which is where the DA's office was that she would end up calling 22 years later. And when she was living in Norman, she lived with a roommate. And this roommate was this nice young man who had a couple of young kids. And one weekend, he went to the local movie store called Movie Place, and he rented the hit 90s movie, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, to watch with his kids. And after he was done watching this movie, he didn't return the VHS tape of Sabrina the Teenage Witch back to Movie Place. Now, normally when this happened, the movie store would just hit the card holder with lots of late fees, which was actually great for the movie store. They made lots and lots of money on individual people that just forgot to return their movies. And if the card holder
oh my God, Shadow Queen P3, yo, thank you for the donation, yo.
Just hit them with a final fee that basically accounted for the total cost.
Hey, where did you get that Chihuahua dog fireworks emoji, yo? That's fire.
Point, the matter was resolved. The cardholder owned the VHS tape, whether they knew it or not, and the movie store simply moved on. But in this case, Movie Place in Norman, Oklahoma, didn't think that was enough. And when Sabrina the Teenage Witch was not returned in a timely fashion,
Yo,
they
a
pressed
50.
charges against the cardholder. And
That's
the
real, the big
cardholder
happy.
was Karen Davis. The roommate had just borrowed her card. And somehow, these charges against Karen were never brought up to Karen. She was never contacted by anyone. And so for 22 years, she was technically a wanted felon. Meaning, every time one of her employers, either during the interview process or after she was hired, when they would run a criminal background check on her, it would pop up she was wanted for felony embezzlement. And so this was the reason she kept not getting jobs and kept getting fired from jobs. Since discovering these charges, Karen worked with the Norman, Oklahoma DA's office and got these charges dismissed.
The fuck?
You know what really makes me want to slap
Yo,
the
Shadow
like button
Queen, where
with
you
a
at?
castle
Where you
wobble
from?
gong? Inflation. Prices
Shadow
are
Queen,
going
you
through
think,
the
bro?
roof right now, which
You're
is
the
why
king of
I'm
YouTube.
excited
Hey, I
to partner
appreciate you,
with
Shadow
Current
Queen.
again. So thank you to Current for sponsoring today's video. Also, stick around to the end of this sponsored segment because I'm going to be sharing the best like button gags you all sent me a couple of weeks ago on Current during our last cash giveaway. Current is the government in Anaheim, California. Okay, back to the stories. In the early evening hours of December 24th, 2011, so Christmas Eve, 26-year-old Zazel Preston sat on her bed in her little apartment in Anaheim, California, and wrapped Christmas gifts for her children.
So you
Laying
pussy
next
bitch.
to her was her newest addition to the family, her third child, a 7-week-old little boy. This Christmas was a big deal for Zazel. It was also a big deal for her husband, 30-year-old William Wallace, not only because it was going to be the first Christmas
She
with
got good
their new
titties.
son, but also because this was the first Christmas after Zazel and William had reconciled their relationship.
Hey, what's
They
up,
had been
Whitney
married
Williams?
For the past 3
Thank you
years.
for the dollar,
but
thank
over
you for the
those
$10
3
donation,
years,
yo.
Their relationship had been very unhealthy and toxic, and at times
You sound
abusive.
familiar, Whitney
But
Wilson.
earlier that
I think
year,
I know you from
when
somewhere.
Zazel had discovered that she was pregnant.
It's Shadow Queens. I'm
this
from
baby
Missouri. Yo, that's
became
what's
kind
up.
of like a new anchor point for their
Yeah,
relationship.
she
It was like
pregnant.
suddenly they could put their differences aside and just focus on
Yo,
raising
Shadow
their
Queen.
kids.
Hey, thank you for another
After
$50
wrapping her final
donation. Yo,
present,
you.
Zazel
Yo,
hopped off
thank
the bed,
you.
She scooped up her little boy,
Yo.
and then she headed out into the living room where she met
Meme
up with her
God.
husband.
Hey, man,
and her
I
two
didn't know you
older
did live
children,
streams.
who
I be
were little
live streaming
girls
sometimes.
aged
I be
3 and
chilling.
8. And then they all headed outside and went next door to sell little.
Come
It was like
on, titty.
suddenly they could put their differences aside and just focus on raising their kids together. After wrapping her final present, Zazel hopped off the bed. She scooped up her little boy.
Yo, Shadow
and then
Queen,
she
you ever
headed
been to
out
Las
into the
Vegas?
living room where she met up with her husband and
Or do
her
you
two
stay
older children, who were little
in
girls
Missouri?
aged 3 and 8. And then they all headed outside and went next door to celebrate Christmas Eve at a party with their neighbors. Early the
BHD
next
would
morning,
smash
so on
anything
Christmas
walking.
Day, Zazel's
I'm a
two
virgin.
oldest children, the two girls,
I'm a virgin.
they got up early and they rushed out of their
I've
bedrooms.
never had
and
sex.
ran down the hallway into the living room
What the
where their
fuck?
parents were waiting for them on the couch along with their baby brother. The living room was completely decked out with Christmas decorations that the family had put up over the past couple of weeks. The Christmas tree was in the corner with bright multicolored lights and ornaments all over it. There were wreaths on the wall and other
Cap,
string
that's
lights around the top
racist.
of the room. And then over their fireplace
Are you guys
were all of their
slut
stockings
shaming
nailed
me?
up, stuffed with goodies.
Are you guys slut shaming me? Okay, I am a virgin, and I'm not a hussy.
The little girls squealed with delight
Hmm.
and ran around the couch and took up spots right underneath the Christmas tree, and they grabbed their first present and they turned and looked at their parents on the couch and they saw their
Shadow
dad
Queen
kind of
says,
give them a
"I
nod
stay."
of approval, which meant, okay, you can start opening your gifts. And so the
And-
girls happily began tearing into the festive wrapping, and then after each of them had their brand new toy in hand, they turned around reflexively to show their parents. And so William,
Yeah,
he
right.
sees the toys and he says, oh, they're so
I'm hurt.
great, guys. And then when the girls, they look at their mother and they
Ain't no
show
way,
her the
bro.
toys, she doesn't even
got
react.
Bella
She
game.
completely ignores them. And so at some point, you know, these little kids, they start
Who-
yelling for their
who's
mom,
Bella?
hey mom, check it out, look at this new toy. But Zazel just sits there. She doesn't say a word. She's just sitting back on the couch, completely ignoring them. Finally, the 8-year-old turns to William and says, what's wrong with mommy? And at this point, William pauses, and then he gives
Aiden
Zazel
Eastwood.
a scathing look before very bluntly saying to these young kids, Mommy got drunk, and now she's ruined Christmas. The girls knew from William's tone of voice.
Hey, sup, Blast? Just got off work. Hey, what's up, Aiden Eastwood, bro? Where you work at, bro? Meme God, have a good night, man. Keep up the good work. Love your content. It's great. Also reply on Discord more. Bro, my Discord is glitched. I haven't been able to be on Discord for like 2 months. I've been trying to fix my Discord, but it's been really messed up.
That their parents must be fighting. And so they did what they normally did when this happened, and that was to just try to ignore it. And so the little girls, they turned away from their parents and began opening more presents, doing their best not to disturb their parents, who were sitting silently behind them. And then, a little after 9 a.m., after most of the presents had been opened, William abruptly stood up and walked into the other room and placed a phone call. And then, a few minutes later, there was a loud knock on the front door. The night before, after Zazelle and William and their kids had left their neighbor's party and come back to their apartment, Zazelle and William had gotten into a vicious fight. And by the time the kids had all gone to bed, the fight between the parents had become very physical.
Shadow Queen, you seeing this wildness?
All late at night on Christmas Eve, hearing this very loud commotion coming from Zazelle and William's apartment.
What type of shadow are you? What type of shadow are you the queen of?
The apartment,
Queen
but
Shadow.
William had chased after her and hauled her back inside. The sounds coming from their apartment would eventually stop somewhere in the wee hours of Christmas Day.
Shadow Queen.
And then as the sun came up
BHD,
on
I'm
Christmas
down.
Day, Zazelle and William had made their way to the couch.
That's what's up.
And they were sitting there with their 7-week-old baby, waiting for their 2 oldest to
Had
wake
to
up and
fix
come open
my
presents.
transmission.
Except
Yo, it'd be like
when
that.
their 2 little girls
I'ma send a
came out of their
$500
bedrooms and
next stream.
bombed
Yo,
into the
Curse
living room to
Gaming. Yo,
begin
thank you, bros.
celebrating, only
That's
William
what's up.
was alive. Zazelle had been beaten to death.
What the fuck? Hey, shut the fuck up, dogs. Damn it. I'm coming. Hello? Is that not the dogs? The fuck? Hello? Hello? Nigga. Hello? Bro, I thought the dogs was at the door. I might be just hearing shit. That's weird. Dun dun dun.
By Will on their week-old baby, waiting there in the wee hours of Christmas Day. And then as the sun came up on Christmas Day, Zazelle and William had made their way to the couch, and they were sitting there with their 7-week-old baby, waiting for their 2 oldest to wake up and come open presents. Except when their 2 little girls came out of their bedrooms and
I'm a
into the
virgin,
living
you know
room
what I'm
to
saying?
begin
Like,
celebrating, only William was
you
alive.
saying stuff that sounds
Zazelle
nasty.
had
I'm
been
a virgin.
beaten to death by William.
Yet
and
I don't
after
have
he
a
had
king. I
beaten
don't
her
know
to
yet. I don't
death
have
the
a
night
king.
before, he had dragged her into the living room, set her up on the couch to make it look like she was sitting, and then put sunglasses on her eyes in order to trick the children. And so all morning, as this 3-year-old and 8-year-old are opening these gifts and turning and showing their mother with excitement, she was dead the whole time. But at around 9 a.m., William realized his charade was not going to last because his kids were really keyed in to there being something wrong with their mother. And so that was when he got up and he called 911 and he told them that his wife had gotten drunk and fallen into a glass coffee table. And so she was hurt. And so a little bit later, the police and paramedics, they arrive, they go inside, and right away they can tell William is lying to them. There's more to this story than they're being told. And so ultimately, William would be convicted of second-degree murder, and he would be sentenced to 15 years to life in prison. As for Zazelle's 3 children, they are now being looked after by her parents.
Thanks. Damn. I gotta hear some more of that. Hold on now.
Completely ignoring them. Finally, the 8-year-old turns to William and says, "What's wrong with mommy?" And at this point, William pauses, and then he gives Zazelle a scathing look before very bluntly saying to these young kids, "Mommy got drunk, and now she's ruined Christmas." The girls knew from William's tone of voice that their parents must be fighting.
Yo, Shadow Queen, you got to hit me in the
did what they
DMs.
normally did when this happened,
Yeah, I mean,
and that was to just try
even
to
though-
ignore it.
hit me
And
up
so
on
the little
Instagram.
girls, they turned away from their
Yeah, I
parents
mean,
and began opening more
Shadow
presents,
Queen, hit
doing
me
their
up on
best
hit
not
me
to
up in my
disturb
DMs
their
on the
parents,
Instagram.
who were sitting
'Cause I be on
silently
there, you know
behind
what I mean?
them. And then, a little after 9 a.m., after most of the presents had been opened,
That's wild.
William abruptly stood
He
up and
beat
walked
his
into
wife
the other
to
room
death?
and placed a phone call. And then, a few minutes later, there was a loud knock on the front door. The
Bro,
night
that's
before,
messed up.
after Zazelle and William and their kids had left their neighbor's party and come back to their apartment, Zazelle and William had gotten into a vicious fight. And and by the time the kids had all
Yo,
gone
Shadow
to bed,
Queen, P3,
the
yo,
fight
yo.
between the parents had become very physical. Neighbors would recall late at night
choice
on
of
Christmas
meme is
Eve,
like
hearing this very
like
loud
super hella
commotion
good, yeah.
coming from Zazelle and William's apartment. And at some point, apparently Zazelle had tried to run out of the apartment, but William
I don't know
had
yet.
chased
I don't have a
after her
king.
and hauled
What do
her
you
back
mean, Shadow
inside.
Queen? You
The
said,
sounds
I don't
coming
know
from
yet.
the
I don't have a
apartment
king.
would eventually stop somewhere in the wee hours of Christmas Day. And then as the sun came up on Christmas Day, Zazelle and William had made their way to the couch, and they were sitting there with their 7-week-old baby, waiting for their two oldest to wake up and come open presents.
My Instagram is BlasphamousHD, yo. I got like 150,000 subscribers. So yeah, hit me up on there, yo. You know what I mean? Because on here, like Whitney Williams, yo, thank you for the donation, bro. I've been watching you for years and just want to say I love you and your content, yo. I appreciate you.
Zazelle had been beaten to death by William. And after he had beaten her to death the night before, he had dragged her into the living room, set her up on the couch to make it look like she was sitting, and then put sunglasses on her eyes in order to trick the children. And so all morning, as this 3-year-old and 8-year-old are opening these gifts and turning and showing their mother with excitement, she was dead the whole time.
He beat her
but
to death,
at around
bro?
9 a.m., William realized
even no
his charade
point,
was
bro.
not going to last because his kids were really keyed in
What
to
you
there
beat
being
her to
something
death for,
wrong
bro?
with their mother.
Now
And so
you going
that
to
was
jail
when
for
he
life,
got
dude.
up
It's not
and he
worth
called
it.
911 and he told them that his wife had gotten drunk and fallen into a glass coffee table, and so she was hurt. And so a little bit later, the police and paramedics they arrive, they go inside,
That's what's up.
and
You don't
right
know what
away they
queen-
can
you don't know
tell
what Shadow's the
William
queen
is
of?
lying to them. There's more to
That's
this
what's
story
up.
than they're being told. And so ultimately, William would be convicted of second-degree murder, and he would be sentenced to 15 years to life in prison. As for Zazelle's 3 children, they are now being looked after by her parents.
That's freaking sad, bro. That's sad. Beat the shit out of
In
this little
August
girl,
of
bro.
2015, 16-year-old Nacy Perez suddenly woke up in the middle of the night.
Ew,
As she
bitch.
lay there scanning around the dark, tiny room that she was in, it dawned on her that the most likely reason she had just woken up is because she really needed to use the bathroom. And so she climbed out of her bed and she began carefully walking across the room where her other relatives were sleeping on the floor as she moved towards the back of the house. Nacy lived in a town called La Entrada, which is located in one of the poorest and most dangerous countries in the world, Honduras. But despite the harshness of her reality, Nacy was pretty happy. She had recently married the boy she was in love with. His name was Rudy, and the two of them were both very excited about their first child, which was due in a matter of months. So Nacy reached the back of her house, she pushed open the back door, and she stepped out into the hot night air, and then she made
Whitney
the
Williams,
familiar
just
walk
stream all
across
night.
her backyard
Word.
toward the outhouse. But Nacy would never reach the outhouse. The next morning, Nacy's mother woke up first. Her name was Maria, and as she passed by the back door, she looked outside and she saw Nacy lying on the ground. And so Maria, she screams, she runs outside to her daughter, and she flips her over, and she's looking at her.
No, Ada
and Nacy
Eastwood.
is unresponsive.
The
and
dogs
she's
in the
foaming at
background.
the mouth.
That's for
now,
real,
they're
Aiden.
in a part of the world where healthcare was
That's Achilles
not
and Athena.
top-notch, not even close. And
They're in the
Honduras is
background.
known for being an
They chilling.
extremely religious part of the world. And so Maria did not think, oh, I should send my daughter to the hospital or I should call a doctor. Instead, Maria and the rest of Nacy's family, who had all streamed outside because of the commotion, they decided to call a priest to perform an exorcism because the belief was Nacy must be possessed with demons. And so a
Yo,
priest
Blast.
was hailed to the
What
residence,
games you
and
be
the priest
rocking
would perform
nowadays?
an exorcism
I be
on
playing
Nacy, but it wouldn't do anything.
Exorcism?
And so at that point,
I be
Maria
playing
and the rest
Overwatch
of
a
Nacy's
lot.
family would
You know
take
what I mean?
Nacy, who was still
Hey, yo,
totally
Shadow Queen, you
unresponsive
play any
and
video
foaming,
games?
to the local hospital, but by that point, it was too late. Nacy was dead. When Nacy's family asked the doctors what happened to her, they said they didn't
Watching
know.
scary
And
videos
so
and smacking on
heartbroken
some-
and confused,
smacking
Maria
on some
and the rest
food.
of Nacy's family brought
for real.
Nacy back home. They had an ad hoc memorial service, and then they buried her. The following day, Nacy's husband, Rudy, who was totally distraught because he has not only lost his wife, he's also lost his unborn child. He got up early and he just had to go to the cemetery to be with his wife. And so he made his way over to the local cemetery and he found his wife's gravesite. Nacy had not been buried under the earth. Instead, she had been placed into a coffin, and that coffin had been slid into this big hollowed out cement block that was as big as a coffin. And then once the coffin was slid inside, they walled.
Hey, Devin Peace, thank you for the donation, bro.
Her gravesite was this kind of freestanding big
but it is on
cement
PS4.
block. And so Rudy finds
So what
Nacy's
games you been
cement
playing,
block,
Shadow Queen?
and he goes up right next to it, and he leans up against it, and he begins to quietly sob. But just seconds later, he would hear something in that cemetery that would cause him to go completely silent, stand up, and sprint away. The day before, approximately 1 or 2 hours after Nacy's coffin was slid inside of that cement tomb.
What's her favorite games to play, Shadow Queen?
Nacy woke up. She was never dead. It's unclear what originally caused Nacy to collapse outside of her house on the way to the outhouse.
Oh, no.
But the two leading theories are, 1, she had a severe panic attack caused by a nearby gunshot, or 2, she had a severe episode of cataplexy.
Yo,
Cataplexy
Aiden
is
Eastwood,
the
thank you for the
sudden,
donation, bros.
uncontrollable loss of muscle function, often brought on by very strong emotions. A mild case could be just having your knees buckle for a second. A severe case, which is what they believe could have happened to Nacy, would result in basically complete paralysis. But whatever the case was, the
Am I
doctors
playing the
at the
next Saint
hospital
Rose,
got
JB
it
the
wrong.
Savage?
When
Yes.
Nacy was brought to them, she was not dead. And so when she woke up inside of her coffin that was encased in cement, she began shrieking and trying to pound up against the inside of these tight walls that were pressed up against her. And at some point, she even managed to force her hands up near her head, and she shattered the glass window that sat in her coffin that looked right down at her face. She broke the glass, but it didn't help her at all because, again, it's just cement on the other side. And so glass shards fell into her mouth and into her eyes. And so she stayed like that, screaming and trying to fight her way out for over 24 hours, trying to get anybody's attention. But
Hey,
nobody
Whitney
heard
Williams,
her.
thank you for the donation,
Until
yo.
her husband, Rudy, he leaned up against her tomb and he put his ear right up against the cement and began to cry. And that's when he heard, through the cement, the sound of his wife calling out for help. Rudy instantly ran and got help, and he and his family came back, and they broke open the side of this tomb, and they pulled Nacy's coffin out, and even though she was now unresponsive, she had a faint heartbeat. And so they rushed her to the hospital, but by the time she got there, she really had died. Nacy had finally just run out of oxygen, likely within minutes of her husband finally hearing her screams.
What the hell? That is insanity. Russia's most feared criminal. Yo, I gotta watch some more Mr. Ballin', man. Malibu's Most Wanted. That's some wild shit.
On June 21st, 2018, an experienced outdoorsman packed up his 2 young kids and they headed out to this beautiful park in Southern California for a fun-filled summer weekend of hiking, camping, and adventure.
Shit. Yes,
Little did they
Marcus.
know there was an evil
That's
presence
some
lurking
shit.
in that park. But
BHD,
before we get into that
bro.
story,
No
if you're a
rock
fan of the strange,
late
dark, and
point,
mysterious
point
delivered in
game.
story
I
format,
recommend
then
it.
you've come to the right place because
I might
that's
try
all
it
we
out
do,
one of
and
these
we
days.
upload once a week. So if that's of
That'll
interest to
be
you,
Fortnite,
when the
GTA,
like button is
Overwatch,
at work, release
and
a
the Forest.
horde
I'll
of
play
angry
Fortnite,
emus into
you know
their
what I'm
house.
saying?
Also, please subscribe to
I
our
don't
channel
play it
and turn
on,
on
like,
all
PS4, but I do
notifications
play
so you
Fortnite.
don't miss any of our weekly uploads.
I play GTA. GTA
Okay,
and
let's get
Fortnite are
into
2 games I
today's
play
story.
all the time.
On the morning of Sunday, June 17th, 2018, 35-year-old Tristan Baudet pulled his phone out of his pocket to check the weather forecast for Orange County, California. Orange County is this beautiful suburb located right between Los Angeles and San Diego.
I'm from Orange
And
County.
This beautiful
I used to live in Orange
suburb is
County.
where Tristan and his wife, 36-year-old Erica Wu, and their 2 young daughters,
You
aged
saw a
2
roast the
and
size of
4,
your hand. Oh,
called
hell
home.
no.
And on this day, which was Father's Day, Tristan had gotten up early to check the weather to make sure it was going to be clear that day because he really wanted to take his family out for a fun beach day to celebrate his holiday.
You can have me on
and he was in
Fortnite.
luck
I'll
because
play on
when his
PC
app
though.
loaded, it
But
showed
Fortnite
that
is like
Orange
cross
County was going to be beautiful and clear all day.
contamination.
Although, even
So we
if the
can play
weather
on
had
both.
come back as rainy and horrible and cold, Tristan was the kind of person who still would have wanted to go to the beach. Because for Tristan, anything outdoors was really awesome. That was his happy place, being out in nature. Whether it was going to the beach or going hiking or camping or just throwing a frisbee around outside, he didn't care. If he was outside, he was good with it. And even though his daughters were still very young, they both already had totally fallen in love with nature just like their dad had, which made Tristan just so happy. Because now he had these two little sidekicks that would go with him on all of his outdoor adventures. As for Tristan's wife, Erica, she did love the outdoors, but maybe not as much as Tristan did. But that was okay with Tristan because all he would do is make little adjustments to his adventures to make it more bearable for Erica. Like whenever they went camping, Tristan would totally rough it in a tent right on the ground, but he would bring along a big full-size blow-up mattress for his wife. And this was something that Erica just adored about Tristan. Not that he literally waited on
LMR.
but rather that Tristan just kind of went with the flow. If his wife wanted a blow-up mattress, that was fine. It didn't matter to him. That was just who he was. He didn't judge people. He was at peace with the world. And in fact, it was that character trait that had originally attracted Erica to Tristan. Erica had met Tristan back in high school when some mutual friends had set them up. Tristan didn't have a date to a dance at his school, and so the friends were kind of like, Erica, go with him. And so Erica would agree to go. And on the night, she actually met Tristan for the first time. She's laying eyes on him for the first time. He was a sight to behold. The summer prior, he had sprouted up like 4 inches or so. So he's super tall, but his body hadn't quite filled out yet. So he's super lanky looking, and he was totally overdressed for this dance. He had on this full tuxedo, and he was not remotely self-conscious. He was only psyched to have a date.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of donations, yo.
And during this dance, Tristan would just totally rock that tuxedo in all of his gangly glory, as if this tuxedo was made for him. And he would really try hard to make sure that Erica had a good time with him.
Is that bad?
Totally did. And so after this dance was over, the pair
all of my donations I'm
Erica
getting for this
would go
stream,
on
I'm
to study
more than likely giving. I'm giving them all to my mom. There's no more than likely.
OBGYN doctor.
You know what I mean?
As for Tristan, he would become this wildly successful, widely published scientist with a patent related to vaccine delivery. However, in typical Tristan fashion, he didn't care at all about his resume. It didn't matter that it was completely stacked. I mean, on paper, this guy was just unbelievable. But Tristan never changed his personality. He never changed anything about himself. In fact, his scientist colleagues who adored him, they used to think it was hysterical that this brilliant chemist who was on the cutting edge of various cancer treatments and all this crazy research, that guy was actually this big mellow-type person who wandered around the lab and started most of his sentences with, dude. By early afternoon on that Father's Day in 2018, Erica and Tristan and their 2 little girls had made their way to a local beach, and Erica had found herself sitting in a beach chair reading a book, and Tristan and the girls had set up a sunshade right down where the water broke, and they were digging in the sand.
Been watching
so over the course of that afternoon,
videos. Hey, thank you,
Erica, she's reading her book, and periodically she would look up and she would see Tristan
after this
and
video, we
girls
gonna watch
digging
some
in the sand or making sand castles. And then at some point, Tristan and the girls, they would get up and abandon their dig site, and they would run into the water, and then they would run back to shore right as the waves were breaking, trying to kind of escape the waves. And the 2 little girls thought this was so much fun, and they were laughing hysterically and screeching with excitement as the waves crashed at their ankles. These are tiny little
dude,
waves.
I need to play that
and
game,
at some point, Erica, she's looking up watching this, and she sees her 2 little girls having a blast, and she sees her husband flash her this big grin because he knows this is totally funny. And at that moment, Erica suddenly felt herself feel something that she didn't always feel these days, and that was just contentedness, happiness. Tristan, because he was this totally laid-back guy, he was able to just kind of enjoy life as it came to him. But Erica, she couldn't do that. She was a constant worrier, and that was largely because when she was just 8 years old, she lost her father. And it was this totally traumatic experience that really upset her childhood. It was just devastating for the family. And so ever since then, she had developed this very real paranoia that no matter how good her life was, that at any second it was going to be ruined by something horrible happening to her. But as she sat in this chair, watching her husband smiling at her and seeing her kids playing with him, it was just this perfect moment. And so Erica would put the book down and she would get up.
Yo, Ada Eastwood, hell yeah, scary animated scary stories.
Something horrible was.
All right, y'all.
4
Better
days
watch
later,
horror
on June
stories before you
21st,
get off.
Erica was home.
Oh, don't threaten me with a. I'm not gonna say don't threaten me with a good time because that sounds sexual, but that's what I was thinking about saying. I'm not gonna lie. But yo, I'm about to turn on some scary animated stories right now. Scary animated stories. True Deep Wood Web Horror Stories. I was about to say Deep Wood. It's not Pornhub.
This is a story that took place back when I was living
Oh
with my
shit!
ex-girlfriend.
Is they fucking in that
Jasmine.
window?
I had recently moved from my parents' house and into an
Hey,
apartment
Chaos Moon,
complex
welcome to the
where it was
BHD Army,
surprisingly
yo.
quieter compared to the suburban
Thank you for becoming
area
a
I was used
member.
to.
What it is,
Jasmine
Aiden
and I were
Eastwood?
both
Yo, thank you for the
college
donation,
graduates who
bros.
worked
For real,
full-time
for
in
real. I
our
appreciate
respective
y'all.
fields of study. I was in the construction
Shadow
business
Queen
as
says,
I was
oh,
always
okay.
a blue-collar kind of guy who enjoyed
Batman
hands-on work
Beyond
revolving
Gaming.
around the trades
Nice,
industry.
check out some regular shows.
Jasmine was a financial advisor, so she usually got to work from home while I had the usual 9-to-5 that I've become accustomed to for the latter part of my life.
Come on, Titty.
On my off time, I would usually hang out with Jasmine at
Hell
a local
yeah, come
park,
on, Titty.
or simply kick back and binge watch several
She
shows
stared,
on
look
Netflix
right in his
till I
penis.
completely passed
Why
out.
is the middle of his pants
Going
shaped like
to
a
our
vagina?
local park around the evening time became a daily occurrence of ours.
Hey,
As rowing
Visible
back and
Hulk.
forth on the
I mean, the
swings was
hub
Jasmine's way
ain't
of
a bad
de-stressing
idea
just
either.
before the very next
Hey,
day
thank you for
at
the
work.
donation, Curse Gaming.
This became
Oh,
a
y'all,
daily
dude, I
routine
appreciate
of
y'all.
ours since moving into the new
Is you
year.
guys donating more money
Just
because
so
you guys
we
know I'm gonna give it all to my mother?
on our new whereabouts.
For real, for real.
Well, at least with the exception of Saturday
Bro,
nights,
at any point,
when
my
I
mom
usually
should be here
video
tonight in
called
like
three close friends
20,
of
30
mine
minutes.
from
Matter of
where I
fact, let me
originally
call her.
resided. Their names were
I'm
Joe,
supposed to be,
Max, and Steve.
paying her
This
cable
was a
bill
way I
tonight.
could stay connected with my friends, as I didn't want to tarnish my friendships with them, nor
Let's
did
get
I
into the
want to be
bank.
known as the odd
Bruh,
friend
hey,
who cuts
look,
people
I'm
off
giving it all
because
to
he
my
was,
mama.
quote-unquote,
You know what I mean? Like, I-
whipped.
Hey Rick, how's your stay over there?
Must be good.
I never
getting
re-
some action without your parents in the next room.
I never really like told you guys this,
no
but
comment. Hey
you know,
boys,
like,
we're gonna keep talking about Ricky's
pretty much
love life,
all
or
of
we
my
gonna
money
get this
goes to
party
my
started?
family.
Cheers to that, Stevie
I-
boy.
I should have been
what's the
told y'all
rush?
this a
We
long
have all
time ago.
night.
I didn't
All right,
really
who
think I
wants to go
should.
first?
You know what I mean? I
This
didn't
was
think
how
it was
me and
anyone
my
else's
friends
business but
socially
mine.
interacted
But you know,
with one another. We shared our personal scary
I
stories.
probably
with
would have kept a
videos
bunch of
from
people
around
from,
the
you know,
internet that would be
coming at me
categorized
sideways and
within
shit.
the horror genre.
He's making so
My
much
friends
money,
and I
it's
had been
not
horror
fair.
addicts since
Hey, I'll be right
childhood,
back.
So geeking over anything horror related was equivalent to our summer camp days back when we were still in elementary school. I didn't want to abruptly end the so-called tradition we had established despite living miles away from them, so I would make sure I video called them every so often. I recall dozing off from the lackluster stories being shared by my two friends Joe and
Drew's about to come out
Max,
there and get
until it was Steve's turn to share his story.
You guys ever been on the dark web?
Super duper slow.
No, not me.
I'm glad you
Not
called.
me.
I'm glad you called
Dude,
beforehand.
don't
though.
tell me you actually went on it. I personally didn't, but my younger brother did. He recently showed me this
Hey,
weird
Curse
snuff
Gaming.
film the other day that
About
I
to go
thought
to
you
Ranger
guys
School in a
might
few
like.
weeks, bro.
I
Ranger
personally
School.
felt
I've never
intrigued
heard of
by
that.
the
You
idea,
getting taught to
as
shoot?
I didn't know or
Yeah, give me a
see
minute.
much
I'm
content
scrolling
regarding
right
the dark web. All I knew was that it was a hidden browser that sold illegal
I
products
see
you
when
would
you
find
get
on the
inside.
street, except everything was online,
You got the
or
opposite side?
at least on the dark side of the internet. That's when Steve
Watch
extemporaneously
this
invites
one.
his
It's
younger
good.
brother in his room and
That's what's up,
introduces
Whitney
him.
Williams. I got you,
Hey
bro.
boys,
I mean,
say hi to my brother
girl.
Eric. What up, dude?
When you finna make
What's
more
up,
scary
Eric?
vids,
You
more
guys
not
wanna
scary
see
vids.
something cool?
Ah, Visible Hawk. Dang it.
Sure,
You
dude.
got me.
This better be
Yeah,
good. or
scary
else I want
stories. Let's
5 minutes of my
go.
life back.
Love you, BHD. Keep
Eric
up the great
shares a
content, man. That's
screen
what's up,
and
Polka
opens up
Dot.
a video from
But yeah,
an
my
array
mom's
of
here.
MP4
You know what I
files
mean?
shown on a folder.
She coming. I'm gonna pay her.
I then
So
saw
I really
a
appreciate
low-quality
y'all
video
for like
of a
all the
woman
donations and
suspended in
everything.
midair with her
Because
arms
y'all
and
paying
feet
my mama's
attached
cable
with
bill.
steel chains. She was oriented
That's
in
real.
this awkward bird-like position, almost like her
That's kinda
perpetrator
hot.
had no intentions of providing any circulation to
Yeah,
the woman's
sex.
extremities. I could
Bruh,
see
this has to be the
poor lady
world's
desperately wailing
most
for the duct tape on her mouth while
advanced
hopelessly trying
sex
to free
swing.
herself by vigorously shaking
Because you
her
could tell
arms and
because her
legs.
pelvis
I
is
remember
the lowest part of the
gasping in awe.
video. Her pelvis is the lowest point of the sex swing. So like everything she gonna get is all the gravitational pull is on her happy place. So that's gonna lead to a lot of You know what I'm saying? Visible Hulk. I mean, if that's the case, have my whole wallet. Yeah, that's real. I think we all can relate to paying for our, you know what I mean? Paying our peoples. That's for real, for real.
As
I don't do this for me,
if
man. I
was
do this for
some
my
sort
people.
of weird hoax, or if this was a legitimate snuff film about to unfold.
Yeah,
That's when I
snuff
heard a loud sound
film.
abruptly come from the background.
Yeah,
like
snuff
someone
film.
was revving an engine to
Oh my God, is that a motorized penis behind
I
her?
then saw a large man
Damn.
holding a running chainsaw
That's not
in a
sexy.
barbaric fashion. It looked like some psycho wanting
is
to
bad.
Renaissance Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, based on the way he held the chainsaw and the attire he presented himself in.
You're my lucky number 20. You know that? I never thought I'd reach this milestone, you know? All that hard labor just to get to you. Do you even know what you put me through? Huh? Tell the people watching at home how much you appreciate my hard work. Say it!
Trying to go through a plate glass damn window.
That's what I thought. You're going to be the best doll I've ever had. You complete me.
Rick, what the hell
God,
is going
Jesus.
on?
Don't watch that. Don't let your girlfriend see that. It's gonna make her vagina
Jasmine,
dry.
get out! I don't want you seeing this! That's when the pigman began to pierce the chainsaw into the woman's arms and legs as each limb dropped from her torso was left dangling from each chain. No. This can't be real. What kind of sick person would do this to someone?
William Williams, it's so funny. I could watch this all night, bro.
Running down my nostrils as I see my friends.
Hey, thank you for the
visibly
donation,
shaken up
Whitney
by the
Williams.
footage. The woman had
Oh my
all four of
God.
her limbs dissected by the
No!
chainsaw. She eventually collapsed on the floor and began having a seizure. I abruptly end the video call. I couldn't watch that anymore. I decided to message my friends through a group chat saying that I was throwing in the towel and heading to bed. Trying to comprehend what had just occurred was almost impossible.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I'll be right back. I'm
I
about to go
couldn't
help my mom
but
real
tremble
quick.
in the
I'll be
same
right back.
spot for about several minutes. I eventually end up crawling into bed and laying next to Jasmine while trying to force myself to sleep and not think about what transpired on that video chat. This is when the story gets more disturbing. Fast forward about 2 years, my life has taken a drastic turn for the worst. My girlfriend and I mutually agreed to separate while my dad passed away at the age of 45 due to heart failure, leaving my mother and 3 children, including myself, alone. I never felt so depressed in my life. I would sometimes spontaneously cry at work while trying to hide my emotions from the other employees. It honestly felt like the days were getting longer and my weekends were getting shorter as time went on. I couldn't help but think that that video was some kind of curse. I remember being at the stage where I had completely isolated myself from everyone around me, including my close relatives. I eventually developed an obsession over the dark web and installed a Tor browser on my laptop. I wanted to climb further down the rabbit hole. I wanted to see if I could discover anything related to the pigman or the woman he had mutilated that night. I recall surfing the Hidden Wiki only to come across a few links selling various weapons, illegal services, and narcotics. I obviously wasn't interested in such things, so I began browsing some more. After 2 hours of intense searching, I found similar style images of females having their extremities amputated and then being sold as so-called dolls. I then came across an MP4 file on the homepage of one of the links on the Hidden Wiki. I pressed play and saw a video of a woman swinging back and forth on a swing with a paper mask on her face. This honestly looked like the same setting as the previous video. I then saw the same large man approach her as he kicked the poor lady off of the swing and began yelling, "Bark for me!"
She's getting sexy.
Now walk, doll!
That's when the amputated woman began walking on all fours as if she was a stray dog or something. As the picture
Alright, so I'm gonna have to go, I'm gonna have to read some more of this.
The age of the same spot for about several minutes.
I just got done.
I eventually
helping
ended
my
up
mama out. I'll
crawling
tell
into
y'all
bed
about it
and laying
later.
next to
Tell y'all about it
Jasmine while
later.
trying to force myself to sleep and not think about what transpired on that video chat.
You can't talk about how you just watched a girl get snuff filmed.
Fast forward about 2 years. My life has taken a drastic turn for the worst.
And I
My
never heard of
girlfriend
this.
and I mutually agreed
Almost
to
bought
separate.
an AR.
while my
Hey,
dad
Chris
passed
Game, you
away
almost
at
bought
the
an
age
AR.
of
Why don't you get it,
45
bro?
due to heart failure, leaving my mother and 3 children, including myself, alone. I never felt so depressed in my life.
Damn.
I would sometimes spontaneously cry at work while trying to hide my emotions from the other employees.
Get off that swing, bitch.
It honestly felt like the
Yeah,
days
she
were
definitely
getting
got off.
longer and my weekends were getting shorter as
Shadow
time
Queen.
went on. I
BHD
couldn't help but
Hey,
think that
that's
that
what's
video
up.
was
Hey, what does
some kind of
NGL
curse. I remember being at the stage where I completely
yeah, I'm hella
isolated
cute.
myself from
Thank
everyone
you.
around me, including my close relatives. I eventually developed an obsession over the dark web and installed a Tor browser on my laptop.
This nigga went
I
back
wanted
to the
to
dark
climb
web.
further down the rabbit hole. I
Climb
wanted to
further
see
down the
if I
rabbit
could
hole?
discover
What do you-
anything
why,
related
though?
to the pigman or the woman he had mutilated that night. I recall surfing the hidden wiki only to come across a few links selling various weapons, illegal services, and narcotics. I obviously wasn't interested in such things, so I began browsing some more. After 2 hours of intense searching, I found similar style images of females having their extremities amputated and then being sold as so-called dolls.
Oh no.
I then came across an MP4 file on the homepage of one of the links on the hidden wiki. I pressed play and saw a video of a woman swinging back and forth on a swing with a
same
paper
girl?
mask on her face. This honestly looked like the same setting as the previous video. I then saw the same large man approach her as he kicked the poor lady off of the swing and began yelling, "Bark for me! Now walk, doll!" That's when the amputated woman began walking on all fours as if she was a stray dog or something. As the pig man got closer to the camera, I could see he was wearing what looked like the skin face of an actual human. What makes this story more disturbing
This
was
all bad.
how similar the skin
Shadow
mask
Queen, not gonna
looked in
lie.
comparison
Yeah,
to
my homie
Jasmine's
told me what not
face.
gonna lie means.
From the identical
I ain't even
freckles to
know.
the skin complexion to the swing,
Shit, nah, I ain't
all
even
the
gonna
pieces
lie.
were starting to add up as I genuinely
It's worse
believe
that
this
he went
woman
back.
could
Bro, that's
potentially
why
be
would
my
you go back?
ex-girlfriend Jasmine. I then Googled Jasmine's name,
Ex-girlfriend
only to
Jasmine?
find her in a missing persons report. Several months later, my speculation would finally come to a halting stop as Jasmine's body was found in a black garbage bag, located in a dumpster outside a meat market. At the time that this occurred, Jasmine was found unresponsive and in critical condition. She was eventually taken to the hospital and miraculously survived her injuries. About a year or two after her recovery, she was given a formal unpublished interview, but it was reported that she had
This
suffered
shit
from
crazy.
severe Stockholm syndrome. This is what it looked like. Today is currently Wednesday the 21st. The time is approximately 3 p.m. in the afternoon. We are here with Jasmine, who will briefly answer questions based on her current health and share her story. Now, Jasmine, if you feel uncomfortable at all during the interview, feel free to let us know and we'll take a break.
She used to
okay?
be bad,
I
yo.
want to return home to Master's Swing, where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful.
So, first and foremost, how is your health today?
I want to return home to Master's Swing, where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful.
Jasmine, how would you describe your experience while being held in captivity?
I want to return home to Master's Swing, where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful.
Can you describe your captor's appearance? Jasmine, are you okay? Do you need some water?
Home to Master's Swing, where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful. I want to return home to Master's Swing, where the world is divine
What the
and the dolls are beautiful.
Can you
I
please
wanna
tell us
return
what his
home to
name
Master's
is?
Swing, where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful. I want to return home to Master's
Jasmine,
Swing,
please,
where the
disclose
world is
your
divine
captor's
and
name
the
to
dolls
us.
are beautiful. I want to return home to Master's Swing.
Tell us his
where
name,
the world
damn it.
is divine and the dolls are beautiful.
Tell
I
us
want to
his
return
name.
home to Master's Swing, where the world is divine.
What is
and the
your
dolls are
master's
beautiful.
name? Damn.
His name is Pigman.
Yo, Whitney Williams, at this point, just put me out of my misery. Bro, at that point, just turn baby girl into a submissive sex slave. Like, that's obviously, I don't know why you would cut her arms and feet off. Like, bro, like, let her stay pretty. You know what I'm saying? Like, baby girl was obviously with it. Like, I don't understand why you gotta, like, cut her up. Like, what? Nigga. Like,
This is a story that took place when I was around 18 years old.
Bro, she was my
I
chicken
still
nugget,
get
bro.
the
Y'all
creeps
wild.
just thinking about it.
I'm here for BHD.
The mental trauma I endured
that
from the horrendous
thing.
depictions of what
Good
transpired
God.
several years
Yeah,
ago
that's low-key
still
real,
appear
Shadow
in my
Queen.
head from time to time. I currently see a psychiatrist to help ease the mental anguish, as I now have a tendency of spasming out during my sleep from the nightmares that manifest every night. It all started when I was in my freshman year in college. I was studying to be an accountant,
one hell of a
which was
drug.
relatively
My nigga
difficult
Breaker, that's
considering
for real,
the
for real.
overwhelming amount of math that went along with it. I worked a lot
Yo,
of
Shadow
jobs on
Queen,
the
you should
side,
jump on Overwatch.
apart from doing school full-time,
You know what I mean?
such
See if you
as
jump
being a
on, like,
part-time cashier at a coffee shop
Overwatch
located
1
in the building of my
should be
school
free.
campus. Getting paid minimum
BHD
wage
King.
obviously didn't
Thank you, Mr.
suffice my
Biggie.
financial
Mr. Biggie
situation,
Large.
which is why
Yo,
I
is that a
applied to
reference
various
from
jobs
Pootie Tang?
online for the latter part of my
I
downtime
love
during
Pootie
work.
Tang. Blade,
Paying off
Blade
student
taken
loans wasn't
to
an
the
easy
max.
thing for students coming fresh off high school like myself,
wildin'.
which is why I would take any small gigs I could get my
Nigga,
hands
what's
on,
Thanksgiving turkey?
like mowing the grass or shoveling snow during the wintertime around
He's
my
turned into a
neighborhood.
sex slave. I don't understand.
I even
like,
started babysitting
cutting
for any
limbs
close
off and
friends or
whatnot.
relatives
That's
of
wild.
mine, which is why I tended to ask around the family,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
even
that
went
went
as
back to
far
the
to
fat
ask my
games.
fellow colleagues,
You might enjoy
despite
them.
the obvious
Check
desperate
out my
aura
gaming
I
channel.
gave
I done
off.
played a
I
little bit more.
realized that babysitting was the perfect gig for me, as it gave me the opportunity to focus on my schoolwork, while the kids were usually masqueraded in the background, playing their video games or were asleep in their beds. There was this one guy in my class named Jack, who I would usually do assignments and exam preparations with, who referred me to this one babysitting gig he was fond of. "Hey, do you still need a babysitting job?" "Of course, dude. Do you have any?" "I do. My dad's friend has been asking around for anyone who wants to babysit his kids." "Hell yeah. Sign me up, dude." "Well, there's a
Maybe
catch.
when she was a chicken
One of the
nugget.
kids is apparently older than us, like in his
5.
mid-20s.
'Cause she
What the hell?
was bad.
Why would I
before she
babysit a
got
grown
kidnapped.
man?
Nigga, yeah, she was bad before
Well,
she got
not to
kidnapped,
be
bro.
rude, but he is a little cuckoo.
real, bro. Cutting
I
her
even
arms and legs
remember
off is a waste
babysitting
of a
for them
good
one
female,
time,
man.
and it was definitely
Like,
an
for
interesting
real, for real.
experience. How so? He's just a weird individual. Imagine a 5-year-old in a grown man's body. That's
Stream's
how it
still
was
on
like,
Lovely
but
Froze, that's wild.
at least his parents paid me pretty
Word.
well.
Mm.
How much? About $200 a night.
Lag for you too.
Plus
Damn,
tip if
so
you
it's
did
lagging,
a great
huh?
job, or
It's
if you
froze
make
for
it out there
y'all?
alive. You still
Damn.
interested? Sure, dude. That's when
Man,
Jack sends
I
me
don't
the
even know why
contact
it's freezing.
information of the family, as I sat and pondered if taking the gig was a smart idea. I couldn't help but think of my school loans, which is why I highly considered taking the job, as I
Jasmine
was in
pre-chicken
desperate
nugget,
need
man,
for
she was
any
bad.
extra income without too much interference in my schoolwork. Regardless or not, I ended up saving the details on my phone and began sitting through the rest of the class lecture till it was time for dismissal. I remember taking public transit when heading home, as I decided to give the number a text, asking if there was any demand for babysitting services readily available. The number texted back, asking who I was and how I got their number.
That
I
guy
then
in video looking at
responded
just
with my
looking
name
at his
Matt,
soul.
and how my friend Jack referred me. The individual then asked if I could babysit for a duration of an entire weekend, which consisted of 3 days and 2 nights. I was honestly hesitant on taking the deal, but eventually came to terms with it, as the thought of $200 a night plus a tip was a bargain I couldn't turn down. When the day finally came to fruition, I made my way there by taking an Uber and getting dropped off at the address given. As I approached the front of the house, I could see a vague figure staring at me from behind the curtain of the window upstairs.
Ugh, damn, she
I
bald.
assumed that it had to be the older son my friend Jack was talking about. I casually approached the doorstep and began knocking on the door, only to be kindly greeted by the parents and the younger son of the family. "Hey Matt, it's nice to meet you.
Yo,
Hey,
thank you,
listen,
Shadow
I left
Queen.
you guys around $200 on the kitchen counter, just in case you wanted to order something." "Awesome, thank you so much. You guys are coming back Sunday morning, right?" "Yes, sir. I'm sure you'll have a blast taking care
Bro,
of
these
my children."
stories are wild. I didn't expect
Is
to
there
find
any other
stories that were
kids
so
I should
good.
be introduced to? "Yes, of course. Here's my youngest son, Timothy.
That nigga look like
And our
Macaulay
oldest
Culkin.
son, Charles, he's Probably upstairs watching TV or something.
Hit me up for Fortnite
Charles!
Warzone.
Come downstairs and say hi to your babysitter.
230
We don't
is your
like
Xbox.
strangers.
I'm never
Get
on Xbox.
down here or
I have
else you're
a-
grounded.
I have PS4.
Leave me
I have a
alone or I call
I have
cops.
A PC.
Sorry for the inconvenience, Matt. You'll eventually run into him. He's usually more friendly when you get to know him. That's all
Is she
right.
still here?
I just hope he doesn't mind my company.
She should be. The fuck? Oh, I'll be right back, y'all.
That's when the dad and mom abruptly zone out, as if my statement had triggered a gaunt emotion. I was a little puzzled at their stare, as it legitimately looked like their souls had left their bodies. That's when the dad snaps out of it and says, I think you guys should be fine. Me and my wife need to go and celebrate our anniversary now, okay? Just don't forget to fill the Chihuahua's dog bowl when it's empty and call me if you need anything. Alright, Matt? Okay, sir. Throughout the day, I spent the latter part of my time studying and working on school assignments, while the younger son Timothy played video games on his PlayStation console in the living room. I found it quite peaceful, as the son didn't require much maintenance, nor did the other son, who was allegedly still upstairs in his bedroom. As the sun began to set, I couldn't help but fix myself a sandwich, as my stomach began to rumble. I remember asking Timothy if he wanted me to fix him something, but it was pretty evident that he was too invested in his video game, while simultaneously chomping on a bag of chips he had sitting next to him. That's when I made it to the kitchen and began spreading peanut butter and jelly on a slice of bread on the counter. I then saw a family portrait sitting next to the windowsill of the kitchen. I noticed it was a picture of the parents, Timothy, and of course their older son, Charles, who happened to skyscrape over the entire family from how tall he was. I was a bit taken aback that now I was faced with the responsibility of taking care of a grown man of his stature, considering he was older and a lot bigger than I was.
Bruh,
As I
you need to go
surveyed
to
the
bed.
kitchen, I began to see
You
more family
abandoned
portraits,
you running
except the majority of them had
Jasmine
another
Watson.
younger
Oh
boy
my God,
in the
it's
photos.
1:31 in the
That's
morning.
when I began to head back to the
I
living room
use flamethrowers.
and couldn't
It's
help
not-
but
it's not
ask
that late.
Timothy who the other
Close
boy
before
was in the
range.
family portraits. Timothy
About to buy
then
a PC
responds
for-
with,
PS5
his name
and
was
a PC.
Max,
Word,
and he was my
Curse
older
Gaming?
brother who passed away.
You about to get both
I'm
of them?
sorry to hear that.
You rich.
If you don't mind me
SMG
asking,
for close
how did he
range.
die?
I can't find any sniper ammo.
Apparently my Rottweiler bit him to death while my parents were out of town.
Bitch.
Which is why they had to give him away and get a Chihuahua. Oh my god. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. If I tell you something,
You guys
do you
think
promise not to
Z's
tell
queen?
anyone?
Z's a
Yeah,
queen?
of course.
Bruh.
What is it, kiddo? I don't believe it was the dog. I believe it was Charles that killed him. Why do you say that? Because he's a spoiled brat and I hate him. Why do you hate?
Why you talk about me?
Leave us alone, Charles.
Me no like him, and me
What
no
the
like you.
Hey, it's finally nice
Bro,
to
homie,
meet
wild.
you, Charles.
Interesting.
My name is
Can you
Matt.
react to ad
No, it's not.
infinitum?
Your name is
It is a
liar.
rap
No,
song
Charles,
made
my
by
name is Matt.
Stupidium.
You liar. You believe him and no believe me.
Charles, I do
That sounds
believe
wild.
you. Okay? That's when Charles made his way back to his
mean,
bedroom
you know what I mean?
upstairs,
I
while
don't know,
intentionally
like, you know what I mean? If
pounding
I
his feet
vibe
on the
with somebody,
staircase
you know what I mean? I
and
don't-
yelling stuff like,
You let Doggy kill baby Max. That's why he died, you liar.
I then offered to play video games with
Charles
Timothy,
sound
while
crazy
Charles
slow,
began
hella
making
slow.
obstructive noises like banging his
tripping.
fists against the wall. I was honestly terrified, but I tried disregarding it, as I wanted to comfort Timothy, who was visibly upset and shaken from the whole confrontation with Charles. The time was around 12 in the morning when it was time to head to bed. I remember tucking Timothy in his bed sheets, and then discreetly walking past Charles's bedroom, in which I could vaguely see him staring at me through the small opening of his door.
I'm surprised homie wasn't like
Hey
doing
Charles,
some weirdo
do you need
shit.
me to get you anything before bed?
Yes. Me want you go get cup of Timothy's blood.
What?
Sorry, Charles, I can't do that.
Me want to drink your blood then.
Charles, please stop joking. It's not funny.
Me no try to be funny. Me just want revenge.
Revenge? Revenge for what?
Me want revenge for Max.
That's when Charles slammed his door on my face, as his intimidation had me shaken to my core as I began stumbling to the guest room in fear. I then crawled under the bed sheets and honestly couldn't help but think of what Charles meant by revenge for Max, and why the hell he would ask for a cup of mine or Timothy's blood.
Have you ever been to
Nonetheless,
Shadow Queen?
I disregarded the bizarre encounter and began watching some movies on the television to hopefully lull myself to sleep. About an hour later, I had awoken from my sleep from a loud thud in the hallway. I decided to check my cell phone for the time. That's when I saw about 100 missed calls and texts from the parents of the boys. I was a bit annoyed at myself as I could tell that they'd been trying to reach out to me since their initial departure, but my phone was irresponsibly on silent. I then scanned through the messages and could see texts saying stuff like, "Don't forget to give Charles his meds before bed," or "Please find the meds sitting by the kitchen table. He needs to take 2 tablets before bedtime every day." That's when I immediately sprung up from my bed to head to the kitchen. As I opened my bedroom door, I could see Charles standing next to Timothy's bed, covered in blood. I could also see the walls and ground of the hallway smeared and stained as well, as it honestly looked like a bloodbath or a scene pulled from the horror movie The Shining. "Charles, what the hell happened?" That's when Charles gave me a sinister smile with blood all over his mouth. I began to zoom past him and into Timothy's bedroom. I then saw Timothy laying on his bed, with half of his face obliterated and his chest cavity opened up, as if a stray dog had viciously tore his limbs to shreds. His internal organs were scattered all over the bed, while his bed sheets were completely soaked in blood.
Oh, hell no.
I noticed the Chihuahua was sitting next to Timothy's remains, while whimpering heavily, as if it was just as appalled as I was. No. The dog ate him.
You need to shoot this nigga.
I was a 21-year-old male living in the outskirts of the city.
Yeah, damn that, yo.
I personally
that's some wild
enjoyed
shit. Curse
living in a
Gaming, ain't
rural
it?
area,
Curse Wolf Gaming?
As I found it more peaceful than living in the
Leave
city,
me alone, or
where
I'll
it was
call the
often
cops.
congested with hordes of pedestrians roaming the streets. The area where I resided was made up of crop fields and farmland, not the commonly seen infrastructure I was used to seeing in the city. It was nothing but just farm animals and broad landscapes glistening within the horizon. I usually was in the city for the latter part of my day, as I was a full-time Uber driver that worked close to 12 hours a day. I personally didn't like the job a whole lot, but unfortunately I didn't have much of a choice, as I needed to help my parents pay off their mortgage that was lingering over their shoulders for the last decade or so.
I don't think it's worth it.
I wasn't much of a people person, so
oh shit, Interstern. Sure, the dog ate him.
Casually have the radio
whatever you say to keep me alive. Yeah, whatever I have to say that doesn't get me killed too. That's I'll agree with it. That's real.
I remember on this one
I love you. Well, thank you, Daniel.
I was heading home from a long shift of driving
wild.
a bunch of drunk college students around the city, considering it was the weekend.
I would grab my shotgun and blow
the
them
time
with
was
dust.
around 2 or 3 in the morning.
That's for real,
when
Shadow
I was
Queen.
driving through the back ends of the countryside, as it was usually the quickest route to get home. It was generally recommended not to take this direction during these times, as there wasn't many street lights around, just tall crop fields and one gloomy road ahead.
Oh my god! My nigga shook.
What the hell was that? I remember getting out of my car and slowly approaching the front bumper just to see what the hell collided with my vehicle. I can recall seeing a deer's body laying lifelessly on the dirt road. It was almost as if the sudden impact from my car had completely obliterated the deer's physical frame into a bloody matter of guts and organs scattered all over the ground. The deer was surprisingly still alive. as I could hear it wheezing in agony, while its legs began twitching from the initial shock of the collision.
I had this big ass fucking bug
I legitimately
laying on the
felt
back of
sick to my
neck,
stomach,
felt
and
that
immediately went inside my car. I didn't know if calling 911 would be the wisest decision, considering I was young and naive. I was honestly convinced that there was a possibility that I could go to jail. That's when I ultimately decided to take matters into my own hands, as I grabbed a pair of latex gloves from the glove compartment of my car.
I had some random ass bug just laying on my back,
and held
bro.
the deer by its legs, while manually dragging the
Yeah, it wasn't a
carcass off to the
ladybug. It
side
was
of
some
the road.
orange ass
I began
fucking
hearing
beetle
police
looking
sirens
thing.
coming from a
This
distance.
nigga landed on the back of my neck.
That's when the paranoia
Free
began
dinner.
settling
For
inside
real,
my
for real.
head, as I thought someone from afar had called the cops on me. I
don't
then
eat
went
me,
inside
nigga.
my vehicle and began to drive
You ain't
off,
asked for my
not caring
permission.
if my car had further trampled whatever life was remaining within that deer.
Oh my god.
It's
I
just
had
a deer.
had a
It's just a
future-in-law
deer.
and a drunk 14-year-old.
Don't worry, it's just a deer. It's
that
definitely
sounds
not a hit and run. I just made an honest mistake. How the hell could it be my fault? If there's no goddamn street lights. I eventually make it home and
That
pulled
might be a
into
plot
my
twist for
driveway,
real.
as I decided to clean the remaining blood residue lingering on the hood of my car. I didn't want to raise any suspicion from any onlooking neighbors, so I decided to park my car inside my garage so I could hose my car without the feeling of being watched. After several minutes of intense cleaning, I decided to quietly approach my washroom without waking up my parents. I began to fill my bathtub up with warm water, as the idea of soaking for an hour or two wouldn't hurt my chances of calming my nerves down. The next couple shifts, I was able to get back on the horse as I conducted business as usual. I honestly swept the entire deer occurrence under the rug, as I needed to get on with my life and not latch on to a simple mistake that inevitably would have happened. I decided to take an entirely alternate route and not the dark back roads when heading home. I couldn't run the risk of hitting another deer, as the guilt from the first deer still tears me to shreds internally. I remember this one night, I worked the usual graveyard hours when I picked up this one girl near a busy location in the city. She surprisingly lived in the direction of where I resided, so I figured dropping her off was a bargain one couldn't refuse. As we made our way home, I remember looking at my rearview mirror and seeing a rotting deer's head carcass laying on the back seat of my car. That's when I slammed my foot on the gas pedal and began jetting through the freeway as the Uber customer yelled,
What the hell are you doing? Sir, can you please pull over? I want to get out. Stop the car! Stop the car! Stop it! Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Let me out of your car, you freak!
That's when I abruptly swerved my car in the direction of the back roads where I had initially killed the deer. I gradually accelerated my vehicle through the field of crops and trees, while simultaneously contemplating if I was hallucinating or if my brain was playing sadistic tricks on me.
Pussy, man.
I then casually drew my attention towards the passenger, and I could visibly see the woman's head turn into a deer's.
That's scary.
It's just a deer. It's just a deer. Don't worry, it's just a deer. It's definitely not a hit and run. I just made an honest mistake.
Damn. I did not
This
see
happened
that
to me
coming.
recently, and I don't think I can work in a drive-thru again. I just moved out and got a job at Burger King. I always worked the night shift, as it had less customers, hence less trouble.
That's
My
wild,
apartment
right?
was a 5-minute walk
That was
from
a
my
plot
workplace,
twist. I never saw
so
that
I had
coming.
no issue getting home late.
You don't deserve a
Overall, it
license
was an ideal
to be
job for
mentally
me to
affected
begin
by
with.
roadkill.
At least,
Nigga, this nigga, yeah, that's
what I
real
thought.
Ender Stein.
It was a boring Monday night and I was sitting by the counter watching YouTube videos when I heard a car pull into the drive-thru. I quickly put my phone aside and waited for the customer to drive up. As soon as the car approached the window, I said in a fake, joyful voice,
Welcome to Burger King. May I take your order?
Yeah, we're hungry. I saw a man wearing a vibrant colored Hawaiian t-shirt sitting in the driver's seat. He had a disturbing stare, but that's not the only thing that was weird about him. He had a skeleton dressed up as a woman in his passenger seat. I couldn't decide whether it was creepy or funny, but I took the high road and let it slide.
May I take your order, sir?
A Whopper for me. And what will you have, darling? Now the situation took a creepy turn. The man kept talking to the skeleton as if it was a real woman. He was smiling and laughing and whispering into its ear, which it obviously didn't have. He went on with his insanity for another 5 minutes, and I still patiently waited because that's what was expected of me in this job. Okay, so a Whopper for me, and she'll have a cheeseburger.
Sure, sir.
I handed him the order along with the receipt, and he paid in cash. Seeing his behavior, I could tell he thought the skeleton was a real person. He slowly drove away, and I sat by the window like a statue for at least half an hour. It took me some time to digest what just happened tonight. After that night, this man became a regular customer. Almost every other night, he came to our store dressed in the same manner with his skeleton girlfriend and ordered the same food. At some point, I too got used to it. I'm the person who loves minding her own business, so I never bothered to ask. I just did my job and he went on his way. One night it was raining heavily, and I was waiting for my shift to end so that I could go home. Suddenly, I saw the man pulling into the drive-thru. He ordered the usual and started talking to his skeleton girlfriend. Meanwhile, I found out that we were running short on cheese, so it won't be possible to make a cheeseburger for his skeleton girlfriend tonight.
Sir? I apologize, but we're running a little short on cheese. Can we substitute it with something else?
Oh no, but Jenny loves cheese. This is her favorite.
I understand that, but as I said, we are short on cheese. The triple Whopper is the same price. How about that?
But Jenny doesn't want that! She wants her usual cheeseburger! I was being polite to this freak the whole time, but when he screamed at me, I lost my calm.
Well, why don't you take Jenny where she belongs? Like, a graveyard?
Oh,
the man
shit.
widened his eyes and stared at me with an intense gaze. I expected him to be angry at this point, but surprisingly, he didn't get angry. Instead, a creepy grin appeared on his face. Oh, I can see what's going on here. You're jealous. Jenny, she is jealous. Isn't that sweet?
Oh my god.
She's crushing on you, bae.
What the fuck?
What the hell? Look, you freak. That is nothing but a skeleton, and no one is crushing on you. The truth is, you know you can't even get a real girlfriend. Maybe that's why you're putting on this freak show.
As soon as I said that, I saw the color of his face change. He didn't say a single word and drove away silently. A week passed by and he was nowhere to be seen. Even though I felt bad for being rude to a customer, he did get on my nerves that night. Hence, he gave me no choice. But after some time, he showed up again. This time, he didn't have the skeleton in his car. He came alone. I wanted to stay away from any kind of trouble, so I behaved professionally.
Bro, homie tripping.
Sir?
We gonna edit that out. That's for real gaming. That's for real
I
curse
delivered
gaming.
him the food and he handed me the money. I thought, thank God it's over.
It's going down, bro. He about to get
Things
shot.
took a turn as he took a U-turn and parked his car right across the street. He then sat on the hood of his car and started eating his burger while staring directly at me. The mayo was dripping from one side, and the ketchup was all over his mouth like blood. He was licking the mayo off his hand without breaking eye contact with me. He ate the entire burger like this, and then drove away. I mean, I can't explain this obscene behavior, but all I can say is that night after going home, I took a long bath. I've never felt this disgusted ever in my life. The next day, I informed my boss about this man, because this was getting too much for me to take. He told me to call 911 immediately if I see him again. He also informed the other day shift workers about this guy. Everyone was on the lookout for him to come and get arrested by the cops for charges of harassment. But again, he didn't show up for weeks. Even though everyone told me this man was just a crazy freak and that he's gone, I knew he would come again. And he didn't prove me wrong. It was around midnight. I was packing my stuff to leave early that day. I already informed my boss about this when suddenly I heard car tires creaking in the near distance. It took me a fraction of a second to recognize the car. It was him, the odd customer. I dialed 911 right away and waited for him to approach me. As soon as he stopped near the window, I noticed something different this time. A girl was sitting next to him, and by a girl, I mean an actual person. I could tell she was heavily drunk. I could smell the strong odor of alcohol coming from her clothes.
Oh, there it is.
She was completely passed out in the passenger seat, and a terrifying feeling grabbed my heart. I knew this man must have lured her into his trap, because there's no way a sensible person would ever agree to hang out with this freak. He gave me a death-cold stare and smiled in the scariest way possible.
Yo.
That's my girlfriend, and she is real. I can prove that to you. Before I could act on this manner, he took out a wrench from the car's glove compartment and stared at me one last time.
You hit this bitch?
See for yourself. Here we go. He then started to bludgeon the girl ruthlessly. She's real, she's real, she's real! He kept screaming like a psycho while smashing her face with a wrench. Her body started to tremble like roadkill, but due to her stage of intoxication, she couldn't get the chance to scream once. I froze at the window. I couldn't believe what was happening in front of my eyes. The man kept beating her, even after her brains came out, gushing with blood splattering everywhere.
I told you she's real! Now do you believe me? Do you? You hoe!
I heard the sirens of the cop cars nearby, but I couldn't bear the sight anymore. I collapsed on the ground, screaming out loud. 2 days later, I woke up in the hospital. My boss came to see me. He told me that the cops caught the man red-handed. There's no question he's guilty of first-degree murder. The girl he murdered that night went to the local pub. He probably picked her up once she passed out and brought her to the drive-thru. The cops are making sure that this psycho gets what he deserves. I don't think I'll ever be able to erase that night from my mind. Is it my fault that the girl lost her life?
Yes, it is.
Did I provoke the creep to do this?
It is really your fault, bitch.
What do you think?
Yes, it was you, bitch. Why you gotta tell a crazy person about himself, bro? Never tell a crazy person about themselves.
This story happened a couple of years ago when I was a freshman in high school. I remember me and my buddy Jay would go play Nicky Nine Door, otherwise known as Ding Dong Ditch, which was a game where you would go to a random person's door and knock while running away before it got answered. Me and Jay loved to do this kind of thing, especially on Friday nights when the school week was over. We were the modern-day little rascals, looking to get a kick out of seeing any adults become annoyed by our childish antics. One day, during gym class, me and Jay sat on the bleachers while collectively discussing what potential houses we could prey on next. That's when Jay suggested our school janitor, Mr. G, as he casually mopped the side of the gym floor in front of us. Dude, let's hit his house tonight. Apparently his house is notorious for being nine-doored all the time. I don't think that's a good idea, dude. Didn't you hear his daughter died? Oh yeah. Poor little thing was getting teased too much for having pet squirrels. Pet squirrels? Bro. Yeah, she was the laughingstock of the school because it was rumored that Mr. G collected squirrels and brought them home just so his daughter could have some pets. Really? That's weird.
What in the hell are you two idiots looking at?
Who has a pet squirrel?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Don't be talking about my daughter or any of my business.
before I dump this dirty mop water on your heads.
Damn.
That's when Mr. G strolled away with his mop bucket, while me and Jay looked at each other and thought to ourselves that his house would be the perfect stakeout for Ding Dong Ditch later that night. A couple hours later, me and Jay would play Mortal Kombat Armageddon on my PlayStation 2, till it was dark enough to go outside and pay Mr. G's house a visit. As we walked down the neighborhood, Jay pointed out Mr. G's house, which was about 2 houses down from where we were standing. We played rock, paper, scissors to decide who was going to be the Ding Dong Ditcher, and, of course, as fate would have it, I lost with scissors, while Jay held rock. I casually approached Mr. G's porch without making it obvious to any potential onlooking neighbors that we were doing anything suspicious. As I slowly began to raise my balled-up fist to knock the door, it abruptly swang open, with Mr. G holding a large baseball bat, saying, "I'm gonna kill you and make you eat my crap, you little squirms!"
What type of shit?
That's when me and Jay made a dash for it and began to run for our lives while Mr. G chased us with a baseball bat in one hand and a long piece of rope in the other. "Stop running away, you little punks! You all wanted smoke, didn't you? Didn't you?"
Who wants smoke with me?
Back for a split second, and could see the crazed look in Mr. G's eyes, almost like he had been anticipating that someone would Nicky Nine-Door his house again.
Bro.
As Jay and I glanced to our right, we unhesitatingly made a swift turn towards the direction of a large fence with a hole in it, which led to a forest preserve with a warning sign that said, "Danger, do not go beyond this point." We both disregarded the sign and quickly ran through the hole in the fence while trying to not slip on any branches or tree bark piled along the trail. It was about 30 seconds into the forest where I found myself hiding behind a large tree, while Jay was hiding behind one across from me. That's when I crouched down as I heard the footsteps of Mr. G stopping mid-trail, almost as if he knew we were within his parameters. I clasped both my hands over my mouth and began to pray in my head that he wouldn't approach either of us.
"Stupid kids. If I ever see you again, I'm gonna rip both of your heads off and feed them to my squirrels. You hear me?
See,
I know you little pieces of crap are the reason why my daughter is dead."
That's why you're crazy. That's when you know you're crazy.
I know you two picked on her at school.
Nigga threatens to feed you to his squirrels.
I swear to God, if I ever see you come by my house again, I will turn both of you to my kids.
Ooh.
I'm lonely.
Homie nasty.
I just need another child. And you pricks took everything away from me.
That's when I heard him slowly exit the woods, as his footsteps became more faint along the way. Me and Jay were so shaken up to the point where we remained hidden behind our respective trees for about a good 10 minutes before we thought it was safe enough to head back on the trail.
"I think the coast is clear. Dude, this is the last time I'm ever doing this." You think?
How in the hell do we get home now? That's when me and Jay had to decide what our next move was. The issue was getting home, as we knew the only way out was through the hole in the fence. We obviously didn't want to run into the risk of encountering Mr. G again, so we both mutually agreed to go the opposite direction and find an alternative way home through the forest preserve. As we got deeper into the forest, I can recall stepping on a gooey substance, almost like it was a dead cat of some sort. Jay pulled out his cell phone and flashed his light towards my shoes.
Oh no!
Only to see a dead squirrel soaking in a puddle of its own blood.
A squirrel.
What the hell? Looks like a bear ate it. Dude, that looks gnarly. Jay then picked up the mutilated squirrel by its tail and asked me to take a picture of him with his cell phone.
I'm the queen of katanas.
Sick, dude.
Yo, Shadow
He
Queen,
then dropped the dead squirrel on the ground,
you know how to
and
use
we
a
proceeded
katana?
to head further into the trail. That's when we saw about a dozen mutilated squirrels scattered along the pathway.
What the hell? Dude, we have to go back. Jay?
I began to glance at Jay as he looked at me with a gaunt and horrific expression on his face.
He black.
That's
take
when
black
I
people with
realized
you.
that he wasn't looking at me.
Run
He was
away.
looking behind me.
Run
as he pointed
away.
past me with his trembling finger.
Nigga.
I turned my head to look behind me,
Nigga.
only to see a little girl
Nigga.
sitting a couple of meters away from us, having a picnic by herself.
This bitch is...
As I squinted my eyes,
Oh,
I could see her
no.
chewing on a dead
Oh,
squirrel,
no.
as she then looks at our
Oh, no.
direction and said,
Please bring me home to my daddy. I want him to know that I don't want to have a pet squirrel anymore.
Oh my god.
That's when me and Jay
Run,
ran back
bitch!
towards the direction of
Run
where we
away!
came from, as we couldn't believe what we had just
Run,
witnessed.
bitch!
As we made it through the hole in the fence, we continuously ran through the neighborhood past Mr. G's house until we both made it home in our respective houses. I couldn't believe what I had just seen, as the thought of a little girl having a picnic in the middle of the forest while eating squirrels still gives me chills just thinking about it. What happened next was something I could not fathom or give any proper explanation towards. Jay ends up sending me a text and then immediately calls me. Hello? Hey dude, look what I just sent you. That's when I opened Jay's unread message, only to see the picture I had taken of him while he was holding the mutilated squirrel. Except, I can see the same girl from the picnic standing from a distance behind Jay. She was holding a dead squirrel as well, while replicating the same pose he was in.
Run away.
It's been a while since that incident occurred. I've been seeing a psychiatrist since, as a mental anguish from getting chased down the block with a baseball bat and witnessing what seemed to be the deceased spirit of Mr. G's daughter is something that still terrifies me to this day.
OnlyFans. Word. True OnlyFans story.
I was in my early 20s and was unfortunately unemployed. The stress of not having a job while living with the obligation of having student loans, in addition to the monthly payments for my student housing, always weighed heavy on my shoulders. I was a student majoring within the medical field, so it was always inevitable that the majority of my time was delegated to schoolwork and applying for jobs online, as I was living off the funds I made from my last retail job.
Along
The
with
quality
the
of my life at
M14
this time was
in my
both
closet. That's
extremely
what's up.
stressful and
That's what
depressing,
Curse Wolf.
as I would literally
You got an
live off
M14?
eating crackers and cheap instant noodle packs. I would even go as far as to sleep hungry sometimes,
Damn,
just to
bitch.
save every last dollar possible
You
to
gonna
help
leave the
pay
shit
for
out
my
when you
rent
sleep?
and
You gonna
school
leave
funds.
the vagina out when you sleep?
I remember staying up late one night, as I had a biology exam coming up within a few days. I could recall being overwhelmed from the monotonous material I was drilling into my head, when I heard a loud knock on my door. Sarah? Sarah, can you answer the door? It's Charlie. Hello? I know you're in there. I heard you watching TV 5 minutes ago.
Ew, nigga,
Yes?
you weird.
What do you want, Charlie?
I need to talk to you.
No, you don't.
Can you please answer the door?
No, nigga.
Hey, Sarah. You know your rent is due, right?
I'll get it to you by tomorrow. I've just been a little flustered with school.
Don't worry. You can give it to me tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Charlie. You're a
To
lifesaver.
make it easier on you, I do take other forms of payment, you know.
Why? What?
Good. I'll just pay you tomorrow.
What's wrong, Sarah? I'm just trying to help a pretty little girl like you out. Don't you want my help? Don't
Nigga.
worry. It'll only take 5 minutes tops. We'll act like nothing ever happened.
What the fuck?
Imagine not having to worry of paying a single bill again, Sarah, for just a measly 5 minutes of your time. Did I ever tell you that you look just as beautiful as my daughter?
I said I'm good.
Motherfucker!
You better pay me tomorrow, you little brat, or else you can get the hell out of my property.
Bro, she was probably gonna do it until you told her you look like her. Bro, like she looked like your daughter. Nigga, that is the most vagina drying thing I've ever heard in my life. What type of shit?
I've always
Hey,
had
yo.
unsettling vibes from my landlord the
Are
day I
you-
moved
are
in
you
here,
down to have
but
sex?
unfortunately couldn't really
Bro,
do
no,
much,
it's not
as
creepy.
the housing market for
You look
students
like my
around
daughter.
the area were either occupied or way over my
Nigga.
budget. As busy as I
Nigga.
was with school, I was always a social
Landlord
butterfly at
445,
heart, and had
nigga,
a
that's
pretty
real.
decent following on my social
Fuck is
media.
wrong with the fuck
I
wrong with these hoes,
unfortunately didn't
nigga?
make any money online, but I did have about a couple hundred fans in my DMs and comment section asking if I had an OnlyFans. I, of course, didn't own one, as I was always hesitant in encountering weirdos within the online world.
Oh yeah, nigga, you gonna run it a lot.
I really didn't want to run into the risk of being recognized by any school colleagues or relatives for that matter, considering the internet was a large place where anything could be shared or screen recorded nowadays. At the time that this occurred, I was extremely eager to make any form of income without having to deal with the hassle of working a regular job, which is why I ultimately decided to sign up for an OnlyFans account. I decided to take a couple of provocative selfies of myself while wearing some outfits that I thought would be appealing to the rather large male audience I had accumulated through my years on social media. I even went as far to take self-portraits of myself in bed, using a professional camera I had owned from a while ago. I remember uploading the catalog of images on my profile while promoting it on my Instagram story, just to see if there was going to be any first-time buyers willing to see the other side of me. I made sure to hide the stories from my close relatives, especially my mother, as I didn't want them knowing I wanted to explore the mature side of myself, and that I wasn't solely depending on making a living using OnlyFans. I can recall it not even being 5 minutes yet, when I noticed a notification on OnlyFans. I then refreshed my homepage, only to see that I got my first paid subscriber. If I had to be honest, I was quite thrilled at the notion that anyone would be interested in me, or should I say my looks. I remember the user then sending a message saying, "Hey beautiful, happy to be your first OnlyFans sub." I typed,
Thank you. Let me know if you'd like to see more.
Oh shit.
The user then playfully requested for several provocative pictures of myself wearing lingerie. I felt a little uncomfortable hearing such a request, but I knew in the back of my head that this was going to take some getting used to, especially if I wanted to pursue a potential career on OnlyFans. Regardless of who this person was, I decided to take the requested pictures in front of a mirror using my cell phone.
Damn.
I then uploaded the images onto my laptop and charged the man a lump sum of $50 per photo.
Damn!
The man then responded, "I want to be your one and only customer forever."
Oh, hell no.
I obviously found
Bruh,
this a
see,
bit
I would
alarming,
love to start an
but
OnlyFans
casually
account,
brushed it off
but
by
I'd
telling
be
the
scared
user
of
I was
it
going
being
to
a
go
bunch of
study
niggas on that
and that I
bitch.
was going to catch him later. I then made my way to the kitchen
Yeah.
to make some instant noodles,
Paint
while
your
resuming
balls
the
blue
dreadful exam
and send me a
preparation
picture
I
of
had
only one of them
procrastinated
hoes.
on since the beginning of the
That's
day.
the weirdo shit I be getting.
I remember studying for at least a good 2 hours straight before calling it a night.
Yeah, they got sent for real.
I
for
then
real.
headed back to my bedroom, only to notice my laptop was still open, and wanted to see if there was any further activity with my OnlyFans account. That's when I saw at least 100 unread messages coming from the same user that I had interacted with earlier. The messages varied from things like, "Where are you?" to, "Hello? I've been waiting for you for hours now," to really aggressive messages like, "Answer me, ho."
Get back here,
This left
bitch!
me completely dumbfounded, as the user then seemed apologetic towards the end of the messages, as if he suffered from bipolar disorder. I honestly contemplated on blocking this guy, but as I scrolled through the messages, I noticed one of them offering to pay me $100 if I sent a video of myself crying on camera.
What the fuck?
I couldn't tell if this guy was joking or if it was some sort of sick fetish of his, but
nigga,
I
that's not
decided
sexy,
to oblige
nigga.
as I really needed the money.
You want a bitch to cry
I
on
began
camera?
to screen record a video.
That's how
of
you know a
myself
nigga's
using
meat
my
game is bad, is when he
webcam,
wants
and
shit
began
like
to
that.
force myself to
Send
cry
me
by
pictures
thinking of sad
you
things like the
shitting
death of my
directly
grandmother
into the
or
camera
the divorce of
lens.
my parents, and how my dad left my
But you
mom
gotta
hanging
you gotta
to be a
wet the
deadbeat
poop
dad.
with your tears.
I eventually
What the
stopped
fuck
the
is wrong
filming
with
and
this
sent the
nigga?
video to the user for a price tag of $100.
Bitch, you gotta charge way more than
Again,
that for pictures
the
of
user
fucking videos of
instantly
crying,
replies in a
bitch.
matter of seconds with another odd request. His message read, "Cut a handful of your hair off using a knife, and I'll pay you $200."
That's it? Nigga, that's
I
at
felt
least
pretty
that's at
hesitant
least a
at first,
G.
but as I digested the
This
odd
stuff is
request,
at least a
I thought it would be
G,
an
nigga.
easy $200, considering how I always wanted to
fuck
get a
is you
haircut
crying?
anyway.
Bro, that's some
I
that's
responded
some
with
wild
a stern,
shit.
"Sure,
First gaming.
BRB," as I went into the kitchen to grab a knife from one of the kitchen drawers. As I stared into the reflection of the blade, I began second-guessing myself, as the thought of sadistically tearing my hair off with a blade seemed very inhumane.
I unfortunately allowed my stupidity to completely overcloud my judgment, as I ended up biting on a piece of cloth while raising my hair with one hand and then slowly cutting it off with the knife on my other hand. I remember trying my best not to make too much noise from my repugnant decisions, as the sheer distress from the back and forth carving of my hair left my scalp throbbing in an excruciating manner. I then shouted,
"There's your stupid video, you sick freak. You happy now?
You only charge this nigga $100, bitch.
As I gestured a
You
hand
the one who
at
did
my
it, bitch.
detached hair. That's when the user immediately responds with another sadistic request,
Shut
saying,
up, bitch.
"Now, cut your finger off for another $200.
$200,
I
nigga.
immediately dismissed the user using profanities and vulgar language, basically telling him to go F himself, as I simultaneously block his account. I then went into the washroom and began to sit in the bathtub to reflect on my bizarre decisions and what possessed me to do such a thing. I could then hear my phone vibrating on the bathroom
blame it
sink
on him,
several
you know, that's
times
real.
from the notifications set on my phone.
Cut your finger off.
As I got out of the shower, I checked my phone, only to see the notifications were from a user with the same profile name on Instagram. I could tell that the user was obviously a stalker, as he had no followers, but was following at least a couple hundred others. I then opened the user's messages, only to see screenshots and video footage of what transpired within our OnlyFans interaction. As I scrolled up, I noticed a lengthy message from the user asking me to bring a knife to an undisclosed location if I didn't want him to send this to anyone else, almost like I was getting taunted and blackmailed at the same time. I ended up accepting the user's messages and replying with a firm,
I'm gonna sue you if you don't delete those images and videos.
He then responds with an image of my mother's Instagram and says, "Is this your mom's Instagram?" I then reply with,
What the f? Don't do it! I'm begging you!
"Go to the park now."
Okay, fine, you win. I'm leaving right now, you freak!
That's when I tucked the knife underneath the band of my leggings and began to walk towards the park.
Dumbass bitch.
I then text the user for further
female
instructions
dumb as shit.
as I surveyed my surroundings of the park, only to see a homeless-looking individual laying on a bench. That's when I get another text from the user saying, "Since you didn't want to cut your finger off, cut his, and I'll leave you alone."
That's
I then
weirdo
pulled out
shit.
the knife and began to approach the homeless man, as I could see he was completely passed out drunk from the empty alcohol bottle laying next to the bench he was sleeping on.
Jokes on
As
him,
I
I don't have a
cautiously
mom.
approached the man, I
That's
began to
funny.
elevate his pinky in midair with one hand, while raising the knife with my other hand. I then swung the knife in one quick motion. That's when I ran back towards the main road as the man screamed in agony.
Fuck is
I
wrong with this
eventually
bitch?
made it back to my place and began panting in distress and exhaustion without making it obvious to the other individuals in the household that I had initially stepped out.
Yeah, you're gonna need that alibi, bitch.
I then abruptly got a call on my cell phone. I was a little hesitant to answer the phone, considering I had not given out any personal information to the user. As I pull out my phone, I can see that the call was surprisingly coming from my mom. I answered the phone and said,
Hello? What the hell is wrong with you, Sarah? Why would you do that? Why? Have you freaking lost your damn mind? You're all over the damn internet!
Bitch, dumb as fuck. You won't. Understandable. Yeah, this female got played, yo. Shit. What time is it, man? Shit, man. Shit, I'm starting to get sleepy. Bruh. Real good stream. How long I stream for? 2 hours and 45 minutes. That's what's up. My nigga says sleep stream, bro. What's the sleep stream?
This is an urban legend that allegedly took place
watch me
around
sleep?
the early 2000s. Back before
Bro, I'ma
social
do that one of
media
these days. That
sites like
sounds kinda
Instagram
fun.
or Snapchat were even a thing. The source for this story was
Yeah.
shared through the victim's roommate, who claimed
That'd
that the
be
following
mad
events
funny,
were in
yo.
fact true, and that they occurred within the residence he and the victim had lived at. There's been a lot of speculation
Bro,
whether
you
the
wanna
events
watch
of
me
the
sleep,
story
my
were
nigga?
fabricated or not due to the supernatural aspects
Bro.
of the proposed speculation.
Sleep
But from the
stream,
testimonials
bro,
of the
that's
victim's
hella
roommate, it makes it rather difficult to argue the legitimacy
I might
of
do
it.
that.
It allegedly all began
yeah.
when a young man in his mid-20s moved in with one of his colleagues from school to an old rundown
Yeah, one of these
apartment
days.
complex.
That's
We'll
where you go
give
to
the
sleep
young
and
man
just
the
let the
alias
subs
George
chat.
and his roommate Simon
That's
for better
fire.
context.
That sounds funny.
George was a
Sound mad
young man
funny.
who just recently moved out of
Yo,
his
how
parents'
can we
house and
sleep
into an
stream when
apartment
my
complex
bedroom
just
is in
5
there?
minutes away from the college he had enrolled in. It was
Any other
alleged
house?
that George was a hardworking student, as he did school full-time in the mornings and worked full-time
yeah,
during
we
the
have better
evenings.
internet.
That meant that a lot of his life revolved around studying on the job while trying to make a living for himself and maintain the
that, see
childhood
that?
dream of being an independent
y'all,
man he
I'm
so
about to go to
desperately
sleep.
desired. George's
You know what I'm
life was
saying?
unfortunately
I'm
reduced to
mad
constantly
sleepy, yo.
working and schooling
Yo,
for
I
a
had a
solid
great
year
time
or
spending
two,
with y'all.
which carried a lot of
Yeah, I
weight on
mean,
his
like,
shoulders.
bruh.
The repetitive nature.
We had fun out this mug. You know what I mean? Before I roll out, man, what y'all about to do for the rest of the night? I don't have the internet to sleep stream right now. Boom, 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 boom. The fuck is that? That's what's up. Yo, nigga, get out my room. Yeah, I see you. Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, if I pee on you, it's going to be different. Peace, peeps. All right, see y'all later, bros. I'm outie. Have a good dream, everyone. Yeah, hey, all of y'all make sure to have a good dream tonight. You know what I mean? Make sure to have a dream about something you've been wanting to dream about. You know what I mean? I want y'all to dream about y'all crushes. You know, crushing y'all crushes, you know what I'm saying? Had to have a dream about that. Please do more BHD story times. I have another BHD story time to release, but I'm making a thumbnail for that mug. It's like taking a minute for me to get a good thumbnail for that mug. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up, Jacob Martinez. You smoking, watching Bad Baki. That's what's up. Yeah. All right. See you later, Shadow Queen. You know what I mean? See you later. Yo, thank you to everybody who donated in the stream. I really appreciate y'all, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, y'all done paid my mom's cable bill tonight because that shit was $380. You know what I'm saying? And I just streamed to have fun. I didn't really expect, you know what I mean, anything but, you know what I mean? Like, that's a lot less money. Well, it's a lot easier to pay her cable bill. Oh my God, man. I love my mama, man, but she a bill. I'm open.